welcome in. We have a unique situation. So this is actually a play all 4, all right? So everyone, get used to it. Play all 4 because we've got 9 teams in the main event of this 3v3 tournament called the League, all right? And so essentially, you play everybody once, all those wins get tallied up, and you want to be top 4 for YouTube. I'm going to have Hardy edit this in for the extras channel. You want to be top 4 at the end of that, and then you move into that bracket that Hardy will show on screen. You make it into that bracket, then you eventually move towards the final. Now, if you make the final is actually at a LAN. So I encourage you to check out the Garrison because it will be a 3v3 final. There's also a 1v1 event there as well, so it's a mix. I'll be there. That'll be in Hamburg, Germany. Tickets are on sale now, so get them while you can before they disappear on you. Want to do the intros here. We got players who know each other very, very well. We've got the Onimaru Capybaras here in the teal. We've got the Celts for Vinchester. Now, Vinchester, incredible talent. Vinchester isn't someone who has played for like 10 years together like the other players on the team. But in the green, we've got the Viper. Viper is, one of the best players ever, if not the best player ever, depending on who you ask, of course. You got Byzantines for him at the pocket. Over here, you got Tato, and Tato's playing as the flank. So Viper and Tato know each other super well, 10 years. They are aware of Vinch. They know Vinchester, but Vinchester's kind of new to the squad. Against Tato over here, we have Freakin' Andy. Freakin' Andy also on Onimaru, but he's in the Vanguard team, playing as the Bengalis. The pocket then is Doubt, who, has been friends and teammates with Jordan for a very long time, who's over here in the red. So yeah, there's so many players on the same team, they had to split into multiple teams. This is how they divvied it up. Yeah, we've got Migra. There's a lot of water incorporated here, so expect lots of fishing ships. And then what you want to do eventually is you want to expand to the land. Now, when you do that, how you do that, that is up to team preference. Typically, the flanks are going to play water and hold. So imagine you hold here, you protect Doubt's fish, right? So you hold the line, or like the river. The pockets will add a lot more fish. They'll be a lot more greedy. But then occasionally we might see some fire ships mixed in. Like Viper, he's Byzantine, so very cheap Imperial Age. I imagine that for Viper, he's going to want to go like fast in. Viper gets housed here, which is really bad, by the way. It's like really, really, really bad on this map because you can't produce a Vil and he can't produce a fishing ship at the same time. I mean, maybe I was exaggerating a little bit. His pop was still healthy, but... So yeah, Dow tend to play, like, Dow will play water. Dow tends to play fast imp as well. Dow has actually played for a lot of cav in the middle. I don't know if he's going to do that with the Italians as much. Maybe it would just end up being a super strong water game. Some teams seem to think the water is everything. We even see teams trading on water. Now that you can set the trade cogs to get wood and gold, which is kind of new. But yeah, I think that's my intro. I will say Celts is just not a great water civ long term if you want to go for galleons. But they have such good wood bonus early. I think the logic is as long as Vinchester doesn't die, as long as he has a good opening, with a supportive Viper, they can end up killing Jordan. And by the way, Incas are picked. Incas are picked because they just save so much wood on their houses and the settlements that you can essentially use all that wood to add fish and like add docks and stuff. So Incas... not necessarily a great naval civ either, but like picked for just wood bonuses, essentially. So, man, that was a very wordy intro to 3v3 migration. Is everyone properly hyped and informed now? I hope so. I'm proud of myself. I'm like, wow, we really talked a long time there. That we got the full Dark Age out of the way. Players are in feudal here. I'll also remind you, because there's always someone who's confused. This is a 9 villager start, so their times are faster because they start with higher populations. Every time I see a fast castle and a 9 villager start, there's always like 3 people who are like, wow, I could never do that. These players are incredible. And I feel the need to clarify. I'm like, well, yeah, actually, they can't do that either. In a normal game, it's 9 villager. Anyways. At least 7 out of 10. Yeah, I'll take that. I've noticed that the Vanguard team has not been opening with a lot of galleys on the flank. So we've got Onimaru doing that on this side and this side. We've got kind of forward docks from Andy, which he would know, right? Like, Andy knows his opponent's going to be close. And wow, this seems to be the strat. He's trying to get some pressure down to Viper, right? He's trying to get through the blockade, essentially, of Tato and make his way to the Viper's fishing ships. In the end, though, I mean, he's just going to make it through with half a Hulk. This Hulk will probably go down. But a lot of early pressure here from Andy on Tato. Viper will receive some word on this. But that is annoying. It looks like Tato's going to have to chase that down. Over here, we got the Hulk opening from Jordan. And Hulks don't do very well against galleys, so now he's going to have to add some fires. Viper, likely fast Imperial Age. Viper even blocking with the fishing ship there a little bit. Whether or not that's intentional, I'm not sure. And likely a fast Imperial Age as well from Doubt. I could be wrong, but cheaper dock technologies, cheaper up to each age. Doubt also sold his stone, which indicates he's not planning on additional town centers at all. So I think both teams are going for basically the same thing here. And nice work here. This galley's actually doing this. This isn't easy for Tato because he also has to micro on the front. So Andy's approach has made it awkward. But Viper, once he's in feudal age, his dock fires arrows. He won't get punished by this at all. And that is likely to lead to very little fishing ship kills. T90, can you explain the Inca pick on this map for the noobs? Yeah. I explained earlier, it's his wood savings. So you don't want to, like, you got to play all four to play. You can't pick every elite water civ out there, either because they're banned or because you need to prioritize other maps in how you prioritize your strategy. So they just save so much wood because their settlements and their houses give them extra pop space. They're serviceable. Are they the best? No. Are they the worst? Absolutely not. They're okay. A similar reason for Celts. Like, Celts don't have Bracer long-term. Celts are not very good naval civ long-term. But they're doable. They fit the role very nicely. What's your prediction for this set? I think Capybaras 3-1. I actually say that without remembering some of the maps, but I would say Capybaras 3-1 if I had to make a prediction right now. But I could see it going 2-2. I feel like it's pretty common for Viper's teams to have a little bit of a slow start. I mean, it's weird because Viper's team was with Doubt and Jordan for so long, but I don't know. I'd have to be reminded of the maps. I think this should be pretty close, though, so. And Castle Age time's important, then Imp times are going to be important. But on the flank, Vinchester's up ever so slightly faster than Jordan over here. Lots of boats. Here come the fires now from Viper. So he's going to contribute there. Tato's galley's still down here. He's got to realize that, and he has. Doubt actually just transported so he could build another dock. So that's just for more efficient fishing and then for more production for when he adds the ships. And Doubt's on the way to Imp already. And Viper, he will be on the way to Imp, but he has to make it to Castle Age first. He'll probably go Monastery, University, and yeah, Viper will be up as well. The difference is that Viper added in the fires a little bit faster. He also has slightly more fish, so slightly more eco than Doubt. So I don't know if the Imp timing is going to make that big of a difference, but it could be the edge there for Doubt. Some pressure on Jordan right now. You don't want to lose your docks, guys. You lose your docks, then you lose your production, and the water snowballs very, very quickly. And Tato and Andy still close, but Andy hasn't clicked up to Castle Age yet, guys. So Andy could really fall off here. I think this is going to be a problem because, like, Viper is slightly behind Doubt. Andy is very, very, very far behind Tato. Andy hasn't even clicked yet. And then Jordan's not necessarily ahead over Vinchester here, so. Yeah, fishing ships are just crazy strong, right? Like, that's how they're able to reach these Imp times, is they have so many fishing ships. It added 20 plus eco to both players. Super efficient. And there was a signal there from Andy and Doubt. I think when the Castle Age time comes in, Andy's going to have to tell Doubt, like, yo, I'm going to need support on this side. But Doubt is going to be requested on both sides. Jordan's already lost the dock. This isn't helping things. I really think that this is good for Capybaras right now. Their flanks have basically played slightly better, And slightly better can go a really long way when you got Viper to come in from the other side. Also, I want to point out that the Onimaru Vanguard team was here first. And I bet you they stole the even colors. So Viper couldn't have yellow. So they're like, sorry guys, we were here first. You weren't ready. So we're just going to take those colors. And yeah, because Viper got here pretty late. And so did the rest of his team. Here's the fires here from Doubt. They're not imp fires yet. They're about to be in 5 seconds. Honestly, if he could have been a little bit more patient, it would have been better for the pushback. But now these fires should be much stronger. Viper actually getting coinage. So the rules in this tournament, you can't send resources to anyone until you're an imp. You can send imp down to Castle Age. So he might send all of his excess food over to his teammates to get them to imp as well. We've got Tato coming to the middle for a town center. Viper needs to support on this side with the fires. The issue is Andy doesn't have his ships upgraded, so Doubt hasn't felt comfortable engaging. And then over here, now maybe you need to be careful if you're Vinch. There's a lot of fire ships from Jordan. But I don't know. He lost docks. It's an awkward situation. Vanguard does have the population lead right now, and I think Tato could be in trouble. We have yet to see anything from Viper here. Where's Viper? And why is Viper adding a Draman? I don't love that decision. Demos from Jordan. Demos from Jordan, but they all get focused down by the galleys. That's a lot of fires, though. If you have the Siphons upgrade, this could work well. Not seeing a lot of green right now. I'm seeing a lot of yellow on the water. Doubt's got a lot more fires out there. Viper needs to get those fires here. He needed to get the Siphons upgrade, which Doubt has had for a long time. And we really need to see a little bit more from Vinchester on this side. The thing is, when the fires stack up like this with the Siphons upgrade, because you have the charge attack on your fires, it can be really strong. Guys, can someone tell me the cost of a Draman? I don't love the Draman edition. I might be nitpicking a little bit on like one tiny thing. But like Dramans are when you have the water locked down otherwise. I think you need to have fire ship production. Doubt showing he is the god pocket right now. 20 fire ships to Viper's 12. He doesn't have any TCs in the middle. Tato's got the TCs in the middle. Viper's got the TC in the middle. That will help them in the long run. But it looks like Jordan and Doubt are pushing back on this side very nicely. Feels like a misclick. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Viper likes a cheeky Draman. You know, it gives you some opportunities to snipe things on the land, but I don't think it helps you in the boat battles right now. 175 wood, 150 gold. Yeah, it's pretty expensive. Here's the thing, though, guys. As Vinchester's getting wiped up on water, you got to remember land becomes really valuable here. And that is something that this team has been able to prioritize. So the populations and the scores are going to look really good for a while here for Onimaru Vanguard. And for now, they do have the eco lead, as Doubt is now sending some res to Andy. But if Viper's able to hold on the water so they don't completely lose it, and Viper's able to get Vinchester to land, which he's trying to do, things could still be really good for them. Viper has tried to up his productions over the last few moments. It's still not quite what Doubt has done, though. Doubt has done an incredible job. But here, Jordan will lose his fires. He's got a lot more fires coming in, to be honest. And here, it still seems like Tato's just trying to hold the line with what he can. He's fully relying on Viper. Viper 2 TCs. Still no town centers from Doubt in the middle. None whatsoever. They're going full water. It's working so far. Kind of. Sort of. I don't know. It's on a tightrope. I feel like if they don't immediately clear the water, eventually it's a problem they don't have villagers in the middle. We'll have Andy on the way to Imp. Feels like they're just going to continue with the Navy, right? So Andy's just going to continue to make water. Tato's going to try a castle here. That would be an interesting one because, like, that locks down the choke. It's a bit risky, though. Tato needs to be careful. Jordan has continued with his full fire spam on this side. Viper's probably like, man, how many ships are they making? This is crazy. Viper, I think, is, for the time being, needed on this side to make sure Tato's castle completes. I think it's going to be fine. Do they have vision? Do they have, like, outposts in the middle? Yeah, look, they're looking around. They've got their starting scouts. They don't see any town centers from Vanguard. And so for those that watch the qualifier, usually there was like one team plays like Vanguard is doing, and then the other team doesn't go fast imp at all, or navy at all, and they just go full land. This is kind of a mix here from Capybaras. But their thinking is, we still get to imp, we still go navy, but we just expand onto land a little bit faster. And I think it's working. Their advantage is growing. What's going to hurt, though, is they'll lose their fishing eco. The Viper's going to need some stuff back there. It's a big ask when he's needed over here as well. But look at the economy counts. Honestly, really impressive. Andy's got a massive eco. And Andy, maybe if he can come to the land, if he can build a castle, if he can get trebs, then he can treb down this castle, start to treb down this eco over here. Viper having to recover here. Viper no castle or anything, so he can't get Greek fire, which would give some extra range to his fire ships. What's up, Travis? Thank you for the 9 months. Chat, predict who wins this game. It's an interesting one. I mean, the Navy advantage is clear. The imp timing is really, really nice for Doubt and his team. There's a castle from Andy. Is that the position you want? Ooh, Dramon's actually doing something now, by the way, because the fires are stacking up. See how Doubt had to reposition. Interesting. Still more Navy down here. Viper could lose all of his docks. He's been called on a lot here. They have not stopped Jordan from coming to the land. Jordan's also going to be an imp. He'll start to mix in some army. And here's the first trebuchet from Andy. And now Andy's on galleons. I kind of like the idea from Tato here. But I think with Andy's castle, this castle here from Tato is not looking that good anymore. The idea was really sound. But like now, with how they played it, they're just going to be able to treb this down. I don't think Tato sees that. Now he sees it. They see Jordan's here as well. And maybe we'll have Winchester get to the Imperial Age soon. Winchester's eco has seen better days, though. It's on par with Jordan's eco, I guess. But still. And Tato's eco could be a problem. You still have a lot of villagers on the starting island, right? Yeah, Viper didn't really sling as many resources as Doubt did, right? Didn't seem like it. And there's the trebuchets from Andy. When the Dramans move this direction, it kind of reminds me of a floating insect. Like a water bug. That's just where my brain went from childhood. Nice micro from Viper. Really nice micro from Viper. Holy. Those Dramans might be the answer to the trebs. Oh, that would be so sick from Viper. That would be... This is such an important area to hold. This would be so sick. Wow. Oh my god, that's so good. That's maybe a game-changing play. That gives Tato more time to hold. They could fall back to the castle again. Doubt has to think twice about moving in. That was so good from Viper. My goodness. Let's not forget he has a lot of other things to worry about. He's still defending at home. He's building the castles in the middle. What a close game. I don't know how this happened, but Tato's got some stuff back here. Did he build a forward dock somewhere? Maybe he did. He's also dropping towers around. There's another dock. Yeah, Tato's just going to try and create some chaos with random hawks and towers on the shorelines. And now we've got Woad Raiders. And this is where I wonder, it's like, what do you make as the Incas? Looks like they're making condos now because that's a team bonus unit. The Italians share that with all their teammates. Inca infantry's strong, so I guess Italian condos seem like a pretty good option. I see Doubt is making some trade cogs, or has already made some trade cogs. But Tato's Vil count's looking very healthy. And Capybaras have a lot of space to work with here. They haven't completely lost water. They haven't been pushed too heavily on land just yet. T90, do you feel that play all X puts less pressure on players and those types of sets have less of a momentum when a player wins compared to a best of? I could see that argument, yeah. It definitely, like... From a preparation standpoint, you don't feel nearly as much pressure because you could bail yourself out if you step it up after a loss, right? Meaning, like, if a team underperforms this week, they'll feel like they have plenty of opportunity to turn that around. I think that can hurt people, though. Like, Titans League is one that uses play all threes. And in the play all threes, we always look back at teams that regret not being in tip-top shape. And had they been, they would have ended up in a much better position. So Jordan needs to get these units. He's going to get the raid in. That is Vinch's Imp TC, which is kind of crazy. Meanwhile, Vinchester trying to pressure here. Can't do it because of a quick wall from Jordan. Crazy plays from Jordan. The condos could maybe take down the Imp TC. Like, that's really bad for Vinch. Quite the landing there from Jordan. And quite the quick wall as well. I think this castle is probably short-lived. But Vinch panicking. He engages into a choke point against Camiox, which is not what you want. And he forces down a castle. That's really, really bad. What's good for him is that the transport's been taken down and Viper's there in support on water. Andy maybe running out of res at this point. A stone and gold, right? Because he's been mainly on the island. And he's trying to take down Tato. Tato's invested a lot of stone there. I think he just lost a castle foundation, unless that was Andy's. But Jordan might end up losing this castle to all the trebuchets. And Vinchester will make it to Imp. Jordan didn't attack the TC, and Vinch will probably clear this up. Crazy game. Crazy game. This is extremely close. Capybaras have the population lead. Remember, in a 3v3, your max pop is 600. I guess technically you could go above that if you have Bengalis in the mix. I really feel like Tato's little chaos move to have stuff down here with towers and docks has been super strong. Because basically, Doubt is only playing water. He can't come lands because he's still preoccupied with this. Oh, man. Scorpions. Kelt Scorpions. Kelt Scorpions. Woo. But elite cameos from Jordan. Snipe the Trebs. Thing is, there's still another Treb there. There will be more Scorpions. And now the Navy's coming from Viper. Viper will take down the docks. That's a lot of fishing eco from Jordan. And Jordan doesn't have a lot of eco beyond that. Doubt's still paranoid over here. Annoyed as well, I'm sure. Trying to defend his water and defend his trade. And Tato gets the Hawks out now. And I think the Hawks are going to take this down. And Doubt has got to be like, oh, team, how are we doing on land right now? And the answer is the team's not doing that good. Viper sends 4,000 resources to Tato. Tato is losing ground on land. I think that's acceptable, considering he's disrupting Doubt's trade. Like, Doubt's going to lose the trade. Doubt's going to need to continually invest there. Jordan as well, only 88 eco, is starting to lose his dock. This is bad. This is not looking good for Vanguard. Because they don't have land presence. They need Andy in a big way. Andy needs to have a ridiculous economy here fast. I think a lot of the population, a lot of the KD even, is coming from the water right now for Vanguard. Because they still have a much bigger navy. It might take a good fight here, though. Yeah, Viper's a little distracted. But down goes Jordan. He's going to continually lose ground. Shipwright from Tato. That's crazy. So he clearly doesn't want to give up on the water here. Japanese towers can be really serviceable, too. They'll do a lot of damage against the ships. But Tato's got to get more upgrades. So many ships from Andy and Doubt. My goodness. Over here as well. But how do they deal with this? How do they deal with this? T90, why didn't they make Andy their pocket? I think Doubt's the best pocket for the team. I think straight up Doubt is their best pocket. Andy's a better flank, so I could get into more reasons why, but I like the decision. The only trade we're seeing is water trade. Doubt's got these cogs, but like these cogs, man, they're holding 400 gold. They're running underneath towers and stuff. It's like Tato's keeps are shredding the trade. And they'll shred the ships. Like, look, there's more trade cogs. Like, Tato's presence down here has been amazing. And then Vinchester pushes. Vinch doesn't even have heavy Scorpion yet or any other upgrades. And then they just have, they literally just have to stop Andy on land, and they're good. Tato's lost a lot of TCs. He's lost a lot of castles. It's going to be Onager for Vinchester. Maybe that's the answer to these Trebs. Andy's going to add monasteries, probably to go monks for that. But, like, the fact that Jordan can't engage with his units is crazy. And it's not going to get any better. I think maybe he's been expecting Heavy Scorpion to come in. Technically had an argument to take the fight before, but now that you see Heavy Scorpion, it's not looking easy. Here come the monks from Andy. And Trebs from Tato. And still, Tato's towers here. Man, Tato's towers down here have 23 kills. And he's just building more of them. So annoying. Tato's done such a nice job here. Little bit from Jordan. I don't know if it'll do too much. Jordan has his own monks. Okay, so maybe redemption as well, so we can convert the siege. That's a good choice, I think. How's Andy doing? How's Andy doing on land, more accurately, because he needs the water as well. Jordan pushes that back. Tato's still lurking down here, though. Tato's still dropping towers. Doubt's military's just cut off. You can't do anything with it. And he's coming here for this TC. Like, he's probably running super low on gold right now. I think if Viper just plays Elite Catas, Elite Cataphract, if he has the eco for that, and I think he's close to it, he could just run in here and engage, and they can completely wipe Andy. Tato's already doing enough against 2 people on water. And then Vinch, at the very least, will stop himself from dying against Jordan. That's acceptable. Let's see. I think they're about to make their play. I see Viper still making more cataphracts. I just don't see them. They're still coming in with the occasional fire ships as well. Yeah, it's just Onimaru Capybaras took more of the land, right? Like, the water was strong, but it was so well done from Viper's team to just hold. And there go the cataphracts. Cataphracts in front, Scorpions behind. That's a pretty damn good engagement against infantry. Kamiyuks, of all forms of infantry, should be much better against Cataphract than other forms. But still, the Katas just seem to tank so much there. Now the Woads will come in. This is where Jordan might lose all of his army. And meanwhile, doesn't look like there's much of a push happening for Andy at all, because he's still worried about clearing all this. And Doubt is going to lose everything. And Doubt with a desperation transport. He's got to run! Run fast! Get everybody! Get out of here! But the thing is, it's like this used to be a gold rush scenario where there was tons of res to take. There's not any space remaining for Doubt. He's not going to have much eco at all. Andy running out of military on land where it's really needed right now. He's starting to lose ground where he needs to take resources as well. Doubt does make it with town centers. So that's a positive. But I think that right now Andy's going to, as he's struggling on land, he's going to struggle on water as well. Yep, he doesn't have an answer here. He's getting everything trebbed back. And on water, this will look questionable with this many fires from Tato. Though, to be honest, Tato didn't really patrol well there. His units are bumping a lot. I'm just wondering why... I guess they're running out of pop space. I'm just wondering why Jordan hasn't died yet. But I guess they're shifting focus. Vinch is not worried about Jordan. And as Vinchester kills the Foxes with the Siege Onagers by mistake, they're just going to focus on Andy. Jordan's not pushing, so they could just delay, just chill. If he pops up with a Treb, send a Siege Onager forward for it. Probably a good approach. Tato will lose the tower, and he just rebuilds the tower every single time. He loses a dock, he just adds another dock. He's played so well. And we're trading on lands now for Onimaru Capybaras. So they didn't trust the trading on water, which is an option. Actually, they're doing both, it looks like. But I guess land feels a little bit safer. They're trading from this market to this market. Because eventually you'll run out of resources, I guess. That's what the resources on the map look like. But how much of that? I'd say like 75% of that is on land. Because remember, there's some whales on the map. And all 75% of the land goes to Onimaru Capybaras. As Andy's still losing ground here. Like, Andy's getting raided significantly. He's going to lose his castles, his monasteries, his ranges. Andy's completely off the land. Doubt, he's getting towered. Like, I'm sure he wants to come in on land, but he can't really justify it half the time. Because Tato's always here. Tower kill update, by the way. Towers have 18 kills right now. You get anywhere near these towers, you have problems. Doubt's actually trebbing the cannon galleon there. That's how desperate he got. But yeah, you can't actually get near those towers. You can't move. Big siege onager shots from Vinch. Boom! Down go the trebuchets. Vinch did lose the castle. So positives, some positives for Jordan. But look at Tato. Tato's telling his team, dude, he's desperate down here, man. He's super desperate. There's the Logistica. So Viper was engaging before the Cataphracts even had trampled damage. So, yeah, this is going to get so much worse. I don't know what they do now. You fight on. Your pop is still healthy. I think if you have all the Navy, you do just have to... It feels like if they clean up Tato once, then they can finally use their Navy elsewhere, right? But they can't go anywhere else with their Navy because they can't... They have to deal with this. So you still keep trying to hold on land. Maybe you hope Jordan has a really good engagement. But it just... Tato can rebuild towers and docks faster than they're able to take them down. And well played. The game one goes to Viper, Tato, and Vinchester. That was a really cool game. Again, like... and I don't know. Twitch chat and type. You guys could tell me how many 3v3 migrations you've seen. Okay? Because we had the qualifier. But like... Baseline description. If I were to do a summary. In the past, in the quali and whatnot, you'd have like one team just like give up water completely. Full boom in the middle. Versus the team that goes fast imp, wins water, and then trades. Here, we didn't have like that much of an extreme. Both teams had the fast imp pocket. Both teams had the Navy. But it was the slight difference of Capybaras invested slightly less into water, slightly more into land, hoping that they could hold on water and that land would pay off. And eventually, yeah, it did. But yeah, that's basically my basic breakdown of it. And someone said, if Doubt would have gone land earlier, would it have made a difference? The thing is, if Doubt goes land earlier, he's not ahead on water, right? So it's a strategy choice. They needed essentially, I think everything they did strategically was fine. What they needed was they needed Doubt to kill more on water, right? Like they needed a little bit more value from the Navy investment. I think if they snipe Viper's fish and Vinchester's fish, all the damage they did on water is a little bit more dominant, and it's better. I do think the main thing, like, Tato was the difference maker in this game from the sense that, like, Tato kept coming back. The forward docks and the towers from Tato, that's untypical. You don't typically see people do that. Dude was an absolute maniac there. And if Tato wasn't doing that, they would have just locked down the water. They would have had the full trade, and it would have been an easier game to make other decisions. So, all the players played their role well for every team. Hard to give a real MVP. Maybe you give it to Viper because he was the carry position. But Tato felt like the outlier. That was really cool from Tato. Because he was essentially disrupting two players constantly with the towers and the docks. And Capybaras take the first game, and we'll have more. All right. Apologies for the speed up here, guys. We had an issue with the game. Had to restart. So the interesting thing about this map, as we're focused on Viper here, because he's the forward flank, is this connection on the land is random. So you don't actually know. It's 50-50 chance on if the connection's going to be over here or over here. Going into the game, you actually have no clue. Which from a player's standpoint is very, very awkward, right? Because you sometimes are banking on certain players being in a position. I would argue that Britons are the better forward position, because if you get to like a bunch of Briton archers, it could be really tough if it's on land, but it's the water position over here. So, we got Viper playing as the flank now, playing as the shoe. Over here in the green, we got Tato playing as the Berbers. Then you got Vinchester playing as the Britons. In the purple, we got Andy playing as the Malay. Then in the yellow, we got Doubt playing as the Turks. And then in the blue, then in the red, we got Jordan playing as the Portuguese. All these civs are pretty capable. I would say, like, across the board, there's definitely there's some exceptions you make, right? Like, I wouldn't say that, like, Turks is the civ that I would prefer the middle position, but maybe there's some unique aspects you could play with the Turks later on. Maybe they've got a very good Navy, so maybe that means the water becomes very strong. They've got the good Hussars. You could maybe play Cav Archers later. Maybe Bombard Towers as well. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be Jordan against the Viper here. And Jordan's got this gigantic woodline along the front of his base, which will help him if he wants to wall up against any Viper pressure. And Tato and Viper scouts already lurking around. And so we'll pay attention to the land 1v1, as you also have the water. Dock over here from Vinch. He's docked the outside. You got a dock in the back here from Tato, so he'll add fish there after already adding fish in the middle. And then Viper has docked the front. So there's a lot of multitasking, lots of different things to look at here. And Viper, ooh, okay, interesting strat. So Viper's trying to go man-at-arms for aggression, but he's going to try and full stonewall through the middle here. I've seen this fail, because people, they don't scout if their opponent's going man-at-arms. But Viper scouted and knows that Jordan's barracks was not at the proper time. And from Jordan's perspective, he's just scouting for dog positions right now. He doesn't have any clue. Could be really good if Viper gets those stone walls down. But they could always run in, but the opponent's army can never run out. And, ooh, that's a nice find as well. Andy a little distracted on water, maybe. And Andy still has not seen the walls either. So, not exactly what you would want from a vision standpoint so far. Jordan's going to play defensive archers. Needs some quick walls here against the Viper. But Viper's going man-at-arms. No range. He's going man-at-arms. That's it. No follow-up whatsoever. It's going to be a stable from Tato. He'll eventually mix in some scouts as well. Still, they have no clue about this, right? No clue. Crazy, bro. We've got a stable from Doubt. The thing is, if this wall completes, like, any army, after they clear this, can't progress over through the middle. Like, your land army's kind of useless, right? In the middle, we've got Andy with a fire ship. And Tato will be found, though. What? What happened there? Why did Andy not attack? Okay, maybe he just was scared of the dock. And Jordan is signaling Viper's dock. Probably very confused to see Viper's going for a second dock. That's not very common. Jordan's going to know now about the stone walls. And it's Viper. And Viper says, nope, sorry, Jordan, not going to happen. Good luck losing your scout. Scout is dead. Viper's quick wall works out. His teammate saves him there. And now Viper can go for the dock. The Viper's man-at-arms are still pushing. Doubt's going to have to react to this. Viper's been able to disrupt 2 people, essentially, which is very nice. And then over on the flank here, Vinchester's been going for a big navy to kill all the fish. Because there's lots of fish in the middle. Andy's job is going to be to go here as well. So far, I really like this for Onimaru Capybaras. Because the military, there's going to be a lot of, like, deceiving stats. Where you have military count for Onimaru Vanguard, but they can't use it. Unless you transport. Oh, man. Oh, man. And the thing about the wall, guys, is you get so caught up in your own brilliance, you're just convinced you're completely fine, right? Like, Viper's like, oh my god, their military's going to do nothing. Just like I was. And now the archers are going to be through. So Viper, he's maybe paranoid about it. He knows if the outpost, if the transport would happen, it'd happen out here. So he's building stuff. Here come the archers. Tato does have the scouts. This will actually work out perfectly. He has the scouts here, and they spot this. So not what Jordan would want, actually. He can't reinforce with spearmen easily, unless he sends them across. And Tato does have army. Thankfully for them, Tato has army. So that timing was crazy. Crazy that a villager wasn't lost there as well. I don't know how they could not have had better timing. And now Tato will try and engage on this. No armor, but he's going to stack up his scouts, and he's going to like his chances there, and they will actually clear that. Wow, that's huge. On the water, though, big navy from freaking Andy. He could have some issues if he doesn't protect his own docks from Vinchester, but he'll go after Tato's fish. Remember, Tato's got most of his fishing ships in the back, though. Then you've got navy here from Viper. He's hitting Andy. He might aim to hit Doubt as well. Doubt's got to transport, because Doubt's scouts need to get across. And so Doubt's going to send scouts across as well. And he has to decide on his target. Has to be very careful, though, because Viper's got some navy out. And he goes towards Viper. And transports go down super fast to Hawks. And Viper, I think he wanted a quick wall there, but the scouts make it through. And now Viper will have to call on Tato yet again. Transport actually survives for the next time. And now another transport from Jordan as well. Yeah, I mean, in the end, like, maybe Viper needed to go for land army. I'm not sure. But we got scouts and archers here, just like they were hoping to avoid. We still have the navy from Vinch. And Vinch is getting some navy around the back to take Doubt's fish, which Doubt is, you know, going to really hope to rely on here. But Viper under some pressure. He needs big army from Tato. Tato's getting upgrades. He doesn't really have that much army, though. And so Viper needs to rely on his quick walls. Really tough to play skirms here, though. Like, playing skirms when the opponent has scouts here makes it extremely awkward. But if you have the walls, you have some support from Tato, maybe it's fine. Kind of expecting a second stable from Tato, but it hasn't happened yet. And guys, Vinch, is going to kill Doubt's fish in the back. So Doubt's under pressure here. Vinch also could win water. If Vinch wins water through the middle, he kills everyone's fish. He'll kill Doubt's fish, and he'll kill Andy's fish. Andy still hasn't clicked up yet. Tato tracking this. These games are crazy with multitasking. I gotta say, like, Tato and Viper's job at just tracking this army has been amazing. I think that Doubt and Jordan were expecting way bigger payoffs to the situation here. Typically, the transports can just end games because it's such a big surprise. But it's almost like they expected it to come in. Skirms need to micro nicely there for Viper. Maybe take down the spears. You take down the spears and then the scouts from Tato. I think that's a misplay from Viper. I think you go for the spearmen there. You don't go for the archers. The scouts will finish the rest of it. Tato will be annoyed by that. If Viper takes down the spears, he clears that no problem. Where's Vinch's navy? He's got 15 fires, apparently. He's here. Guys, like... Okay, so Viper's losing his docks. Viper doesn't have fish. Viper's not in a good spot. But if Vinch goes here, he takes down Andy's docks immediately. He takes down Doubt's docks immediately. Jordan's actually the one for his team that's going to be relatively untouched. He's going to play archers. His fish are safe on the outside. And Tato does have some ships there, but Tato hasn't progressed forward yet. Big 3 TC boom from Vinch. Vinch has got, like, a free game, basically. But, again, Viper will be very low. I think Viper will take that, though. Viper will be happy. His teammates are going to be in very good positions here. Doubt's going to try and play some water, but against a very big navy. Andy already losing some of his docks against the big navy here from Vinchester as well. Look how fast the docks go down against the fires. Like, Doubt really needs these docks for production. It's brutal. Also, this was the dock researching warships, so it couldn't even produce anything. And Doubt's gonna try the same weak transport that he went with earlier. Here he goes. Can he make it? I mean, if that gets hit by a fire, those 8 light cav are swimming with the fishies. Thing is, they're not going to look for it. They're not going to expect it. They're not going to see it. And Doubt's just going to go through the middle of the map. He is actually going to be okay. If he can get to Vinch, maybe, that could be it. Oh, man, he's so lucky. Well, there he goes. He's off. They might not be able to make it back home, but if they could kill civils at Vinchester's base, that could be a game changer because they're losing a lot of momentum right now, losing out on water like this. Jordan's going to be in a good spot, though. Jordan's still got his transport. This is amazing. So many different transports, dude. And Doubt will massacre this wood line. Vinch has the TCs to replace the Vills, but still, he's had no army. Andy's got some navy to try and recover things here. And, I mean, it's pretty damn close. Vinch is obviously distracted, so he can't micro perfectly. There will be a couple more ships here from Andy. I think Andy could maybe hold. Viper, no fish, remember. Jordan's got 13 fishing ships, so Viper's really far behind. He's waiting for Tato to support him. Nice shot from Andy to clear this. Viper has to track those crossbows a bit. And I think he actually saw the transport. It seems like they're aware something's through. They saw the transport with the outpost, and they're looking for him. And I think Tato's waiting for it as well right now. Light Cav are still around for Doubt, by the way. But Light Cav from Tato could just run through, and he's going to run into Doubt's base. And Doubt will have to clear this up, maybe. Looks like Doubt has already. Or at least he was prepared for it, because the camels are there. Man, this is some high-level stuff, man. Both teams have played amazing. I think my worry for Team Onimaru Vanguard was that Vinch and Tato were going to have a free game. And if Vinch and Tato had a free game, that would be very tough for them to catch up. But for Vinch, he hasn't had a free game now. He's taken some losses. And for Tato, he's getting harassed as well. So, like... also, Jordan's got such a big lead on Viper. I think Jordan can consider pushing through the wall. Like, Jordan's in a very good spot. It's going to be very tough for Viper to compete there. So, I really like how they've evened out the game. Raid gets cleared up there. Crazy quick walls needed from Andy. Remember, he doesn't really have army because he's playing the water. But Vinch was so distracted, he wasn't able to play into Navy at all. Like, he basically had to stop, and he's going to try and rely on towers now, so he won't fight the middle water at all. Fun game. Just Passing says, why Britain's on water? Well, that's the thing. Remember, Just Passing, you don't know what side you're going to be on. So, like, you're hoping that the Britain player would maybe be here. The thing is, I think Britain Navy is actually still pretty capable. And also, the tower idea, which we saw this team use in the previous game, towers in the choke could be really strong as well. And once you get all the upgrades, it's very difficult for ships to move through there. So game's evened out. Population's almost even. There is still this wall here, which makes it difficult for Jordan because he has to rely on transports, which will get more and more difficult, you'd think, if Navy comes over. But Jordan's just going to try and push through the wall now. And Viper would have to push up the hill. Now, Shu Mangonels do move a little bit faster. But Jordan's on the way to the Imperial Age. Yeah, Viper's going to have to hold here. Either needs to hold, or he needs big army from Tato in support. And Tato can maybe do that. Tato on the way to the Imperial Age now. Much faster than Doubt. Significantly ahead of Doubt's time. Doubt's eco is on par. I think losing the fishing ships hurt him because he has to spend so much more time investing to balance out. Something you can see here is a transport from Andy and, like, castle drop. Because you have the Navy, you could control, but maybe not the time for it right now. M says it's funny because Britain Navy is one of the best. I mean, their Navy's really good here, right? You don't pick Britons because of their Navy, but their Navy should be fantastic. The only thing they don't get is... Okay, I guess they don't get the fully upgraded Hawks, but you get good demos, you get good galleons, you have cannon galleons. It's a pretty good Navy. From a player standpoint, I would not love the fact that you get into it and you don't know if you're, like, the real flank or not, right? I would call this, what do we call this? The water flank? I was going to shorten that and make that one word for water flank, but the first thing I thought of, I decided not to say. Yeah, so you got water flank, and then you got, you know, the real flank. So, again, like, it's kind of difficult to affect the game if you are Britons and you're not playing water. I guess you just have to. You have to say it now, T90. I'm sure you guys can use your imagination on what I thought of when I thought of combining those words, okay? And if you can't, then you're too innocent. Oh, man, Jordan's uncertain here. Look, he doesn't trust it. That was really funny. He was acting like he was going to hop out to see what Viper would do. Ah! Go back! Viper's here! Okay. And now he's out. And Jordan says WTF 11. So maybe Jordan was trying to get out and they wouldn't let him? And that would explain that interaction? It's very rare that Jordan speaks in-game. So that to me looked like he was trying to eject and it wouldn't let his units over. Which, if that's the case, is pretty crazy. Now, it could have been suicide, but he's an imp. He's got imp upgrades. Viper does not have imp upgrades. So, like, they got to use their timing here and try and break through. The Navy's going to be upgraded from Winchester. Will be the same for Andy. Guard tower upgrade's already in, so they're definitely just going to camp with towers there. And Viper's held the line, which has got to be frustrating for Jordan, because Viper's still a minute away from him. But I think that he just held the line for a little bit. Doubt's gonna be here in support. Now, this is the big question on the Turks, is what military do you make? For now, he's making some light cav. He's going to get the Hussar upgrade for free, but Tato could have a big cav army. And Tato's got 20 Cavalier already. And will have better upgrades. So, on one hand, Jordan's in a good spot. Viper's not. On the other hand, Tato's in a good spot, and Doubt's not. It made it through the Great Wall over here. And I expect Winchester to just camp with more towers and play very patient. They're already dropping the markets, guys. This will be a long game. We'll see lots of trade here. Feels like Tato is trying to lure them into a false sense of security here. Right? Like, Tato's hiding his army. The score would indicate that Tato's in a good spot, but Doubt doesn't see any of this yet. He sees one Cavalier. They don't know where the rest of the army is, right? So if they don't see the army, they're going to advance forward. Units are advancing forward. Tato looping the long way around. He's going to try and get behind this so they can pincer this. This is really sick. Look at this, because now you can't retreat. Tato comes from this side. You can't easily get away. Viper's got Arbalest. Tato comes in from here. He comes in from here. He comes in from here as well. And it is the perfect pincer move from Tato. That was amazing. I think if he engages like you or I would engage, Jordan sees it and Jordan backs off. And Jordan gets back to the castle and he escapes. Jordan has no chance to escape. That was a really nice clear for them. Viper needs some time to breathe. And Viper's got a pretty capable Civ now that he has set time to breathe. Chewie can play in towards plenty of Arbalest. Now it's actually making some cannon galleons. So I was thinking maybe you actually pick Turks weirdly because of the bombard towers and because the cannon galleons get additional range long term as well. Because these teams will know how long the games can go. It's a problem, though, that Andy's losing water. Andy's losing water pretty quickly here. Maybe he can recover it, but I'm not seeing good signs here. He is getting the shipwright upgrade, though, which can help him recover pretty easily. Winchester's dropping more docks. Winchester getting more upgrades. And now big Navy play from Doubt as we see towers now from Tato. And Tato's mixing some Navy as well. He's also still got a big army of Cavalier, which will want to move forward. Jordan's also adding Navy. A lot of Navy. 3 players going Navy for Onimaru Vanguard. Tato's like has the occasional ship, but I wouldn't really consider him a Navy player. It's mainly just Vinch. And then Viper and Tato are going full land. It's going to be another one of those games. Population efficiency on if you want to have Navy or not. You can trade on water here as well. That's always an option. Wanted to see if Winchester got shipwright. He did get shipwright. Shipwright's a crazy upgrade. Ships cost 20% less wood and 50%, and they build 50% faster. So you definitely need that upgrade if you have it. No support from Doubt. Doubt doesn't have big army here. Because he's going water for the team to try and help with Andy against Winchester. And they might find reward there. That's a lot of Navy from Onimaru Vanguard. And if they have the Turk cannon galleons too, they can take down towers and docks pretty quickly. Tato's going to try and contribute. More towers and more docks, as Winchester's telling him. But they're also pushing here. So annoying for Vinch. Or rather for Tato. Like, this is so annoying. Viper should actually take out the trees. You probably don't think of it, but take down the trees so you can run through. It's super annoying that this wood line is generated like this. Yeah, that's a good move. Because if they could just get through, then they're good. Yeah, now the army can actually run through. Now it's Doubt. Doubt could quick wall, but Doubt's not necessarily known for quick walls. And beautiful cut. Cavalier going to run through, and Tato jumps on him. This is what Tato's been waiting for. He just wanted the Cavalier to find some payoff. Bombard cannons will go down. He does back up a little bit. But Viper's traction trebs will maybe focus on this castle. Water update. Tato's still contributing with the occasional Hawk. He's actually getting shipwright as well. Docks are still up here from Vinch, but he's starting to lose some ground to the cannon galleons. But it's still cannon galleons getting sniped pretty quickly. Seems like they're doing a good job, and my stream is apparently crashing. Are we back? We're back, right? Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there. We're back. I saw everyone was saying F. We're good. Did you miss my audio, or did things just freeze? It looks like my internet blipped there for like half a second. It's been happening every once in a while, which is really annoying, but... Okay, just froze. Honestly, I think the freezing could be, like, Ethernet cord related. So when we, like, redo some of my PC stuff over the next 48 hours, we're gonna, like, check all the connections, replace some cables and stuff. It's weird. It's the way my PCs link. I won't get into it. We'll work on that this week. Big Navy. Oh, my God. But, I mean... In terms of pure space, very nice situation here for Viper and Tato. It's really hard game for Tato to play land and water, though. Like, Doubt's got a couple boats, but Doubt's not really doing both anymore. Doubt's going full land. T90 do those special downloads later. Yeah, I forgot to cancel them, all right? Forgot to stall them before the stream. I'm sorry. We got Lou on the outside. The new addition to the game. The new Lou Schwans. So Jordan, who's actually has some trade cogs, which were pathing the wrong way. Couldn't have been what he wanted. And Jordan could start to need some Navy. This choke point is still extremely difficult to engage into if you're the team that doesn't have a big ball of Arbalest, which would be Viper's team. But the Navy from Tato and Vinchester is going to overwhelm freaking Andy now and then take down his docks. He does have harbors, so they fire some arrows there. This feels like Vanguard. They're holding the line here. They're threatening a push. And they've got more on the water now. And they've got the trade starting as well. They just played slightly better today. Crazy army or navy out of nowhere. I think Viper needs to wall again. If this team loses, it's because they didn't wall again. Viper needs to re-wall this while he has the time, in my opinion. Castle makes it okay, I guess. But I think re-walling that would make a lot of sense while you have the time to do so. Yeah, say goodbye to your docks if you're freaking Andy. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the harbors will help him hold. He's going to hold on as best he can. Population efficiency is kind of tricky right now. Like, Doubt is pop capped and has units in queue. And he kind of needs the units to contribute. He's starting to help with some Navy here. And maybe that's working. The docks are still there for Andy, so... The issue is you can't take down the harbors with galleons. You pretty much need fires, and you can't get close to it because the docks fire arrows. Yeah, okay, they're stalling that out. Cavalier are going to get through. Do we need to check the amount of wood left on the map? I'll just show it now. It's 307k. There's also a relic left on the map. Ship's still going down. Again, Andy's up against two navies here. Tato's had an amazing series so far. Like, Tato's had to do multiple things more than anybody else for this team so far. It's really cool how he's cav raiding Doubt and also simultaneously helping all water and also simultaneously helping Viper here. Whereas, like, Viper's just had to play flank. A little bit of water and land, sure, but, like, he's playing in the same spot, and Vince is doing the same damn thing all game. Tato's been a step up in terms of the multitasking. First time chatter says, I own an IT company. I can help you with networking if you want some help. 12 plus years of experience enterprise networking. What do you think, chat? They just prime subbed 60 seconds ago. That was their first message on the channel. Should we lean on them for networking advice? Realistically, I appreciate it. If I need help, I'll probably poll the community. I'll put your name on the list. Scammer? Nah, he subscribed. Subs would never scam me. If you subscribe, that means you're legit. I hope. Wait, should I not have trusted my life savings to a random first-time chatter who came in a week ago and said that they are really good with investments? Whoops. Just kidding. Jordan's starting to make some progress here. Resources are being shared side to side. Feel like Viper needed that critical mass of traction treads. If Viper needed to get to like 10 traction treads. Speaking of impressive, Andy's done an incredible job over here. Still holding. He has lost docks though. He added in the cannon galleons, and ever since, the docks are starting to go down. I guess if Viper did wall, the walls would not have stayed up for very long, and quite a few bombard towers here from Doubt. Yeah, I think they literally picked the Turks for the cannon galleon bombard tower approach with the 13 range bombard towers. It's pretty sick. Outranges any of the towers the other team has. T90, I'll fix your networking free of charge. I don't know. You're not subscribed. I don't know if we can trust you. And Doubt's towers are part of the slow creep here, which is a good approach. But they got to break the fortifications. They got to break them. The trade is right beyond this. Also, could be a sneaky transport eventually. Like, if these cannon galleons take down the towers and docks from Andy, you could sneak in and you can tower their trade, right? But I guess this is like the heart of it. You break this, you get into the trade anyways. And, oh my goodness, it looks like it's happening. Yeah, Jordan and Doubt need to push fast. It's kind of wild. Like, I feel what it is for Onimaru Vanguard is they have slightly too much eco. Like, slightly. They just can't field enough military. Like, Andy's been a 160 eco. And now he can't spend his resources because, like, is losing his dogs. But yeah, I think it is just population efficiency at this point. Jordan's got to push. But anytime he tries to push, Viper's got the traction trebs, which have slightly more range. And because the traction trebs have slightly more range than the bombard cannons, it's tough for Jordan to stick around. Doubt's trying to snipe them, but to no avail. Andy is dying a slow death, which is positive. Unless it's real life. Dying a slow death sounds painful. Just get it over with for me. But dying a slow death for the team makes sense. To give that opportunity to Jordan. Look how many bombard cannons he has, though, man. Like, he can't trust himself to push. Because he doesn't have the range. 10 bombard cannons. But they are taking down the towers. They are taking down the fortifications. And, oh, man. Doubt tries to get a big shot there. And what is Viper doing here? Viper running in towards that. I think, honestly, knowing Viper, he said it's Doubt. There's no way he'll attack rounds. But Viper needs to respect Doubt a little bit more. Yeah, Doubt's bombard cannons can maybe compete against the traction trebs. And Viper's having some issues here, man. Viper's having some issues. Maybe he'll start to lose some grounds here. We might need to see more land army from Tato again soon. But he's still on water. Jordan trying to contribute with water. Oh, man, but they're sinking so many resources into these docks and into the ships that are just dying immediately. But Andy refuses to give up. Oh, transport! Transport! Go transport! Vinchester's got 18 Vills in there. A very dangerous cruise. But now that they've cleared this area out, if he gets off, he could just tower or castle the trade, which would put a stop to it. I think with 18 Vills, you're building castles. And of course, I'm wrong. He's going to drop multiple towers there. Viper's still holding the line, using the Lushwans and the traction trebs. There's actually not that much army here at all. It's just fortifications and traction trebs and Lushwans. And they're going to realize the trade is going down. Argonius' T-90 Turk Bombard should have the same range as traction trebs. Not if traction trebs have siege engineers. So yeah, bombards would be 12 plus 2 with Turks. But here it's 14 base range with +1 range because of siege engineers. So the Shu traction trebs having the siege engineers upgrade is really nice. They see it. They see it. And they're just going to drop bombard towers and castles to get rid of this. It will eventually get rid of this. But how long can you continue to do this, right? Like, can you beat a couple keeps by building a castle every time? Because Vinch is just going to keep doing it. Maybe going through the back there. You're just stuck if you're Jordan. You're just crammed onto the bottom of this hill. You can advance forward because Viper's traction trebs are camping. And Viper's actually going to make a switch to elite feather guards too, which gives you a little bit of tankiness in there. We do have elephants from Andy, so he's going to try and play land there. But you see, like, not having any of the water makes life so difficult even from the land aspect. And Vince built more towers up here too. Oh, man. How did he sneak through? I guess he brought enough Vills. They don't see this. They do see it now, I guess, because they're attacking the keeps. Vince didn't preemptively have murder holes. I mean, bro. These pros. It's one tech pros need to just get ahead of time. I actually didn't like it when the devs increased the rate at which murder holes researched. Because I always thought that was a good tech to, like, benefit those who thought ahead. AKA, like, all the noobs. And then they increase the rate in which it researches. And it, like, kind of bails people out. Either way, doesn't matter. Vinch is going to lose it regardless. He's quick walling is going to add more. And a big fight on the front. And that's a lot of cannons. There's almost as many cannons in this army as Arbalest. Doubt's got cannons. Jordan's got cannons. At what point is this too many cannons, though? That's 13, bro. Don't fire as fast as an Arbalest. Viper's still completely fine. Navy's going around the backside now. Brandy's going to lose his docks back here, too. And again, the cannon galleons can just range everything. The cannon galleons cleared up the towers here. Cleared up the castles. We'll take this out. We'll range some trade as well. Like, this is just really, really bad for Onimaru Vanguard. I think it's just not enough progress on the land. Viper's done a very nice job holding. Viper's had what I would call a sneaky good game. Sneaky good game is he's got his hero over there. 1,000 resources standing behind the tower. But, yeah, Tato and Vinchester have done the job. Vinchester will still build the occasional keep in here, I'm sure. He can always come back. Trade runs this way. So the galleons could actually stay there. And I think I liked the thought process to pick the civs. Like Malay, Turks, Portuguese, basically you pick to camp for the late game. You use the cannon galleons and the bombard towers. But they just weren't able to make enough progress on lands here. And I think Doubt just wasn't able to be nearly as prominent as Tato. Like, Tato's land presence as well as water play this game was just incredible. And guys, I know, like, for most of you, you might still consider Tato in your top 10. He used to be, like, always consistently top 5. But I think for Tato's skill set these days, you know, he's aging. I talk to Tato a lot. I think he might be a better team game player than 1v1s because team games rely a little bit more on the overall strategy in terms of, like, the execution in, like, tiny little moments where Tato's execution might falter at times. He's really good. Big pushback from Andy. Big pushback from Andy. He's still trying to redock. But just the cost of all these docks as well is so expensive. They're going to run out of res, man. They're going to run out of wood. It's funny. When I was at the bar with Tato, and we were talking about games, and it was after the Brazilian Dynasty, like, first 2 or 3 days, where Mr. Yo looked really bad. Here's the GG. Amazing. Amazing game from Tato, Vinchester, Viper as they win the second game. So, yeah, we're at the bar, right? And I'm like... And someone asked, like, what's going on with Yo? And I was like, honestly, I just think it's, like... I think he's just getting older. And before I finished the rest of my thought, Tato said, aren't we all, bro? Aren't we all? I think at 1.2, I was like, yeah, I think Yo's, like, kind of falling off. Tato's like, aren't we all? Aren't we all? And then he cheersed and had another beer, you know? But no, I don't want to disrespect Vinchester and Viper. I thought they played really well. You could argue Viper had a really difficult job this game because he was behind Jordan most of the game economically, up against the Portuguese. The list goes on. They all played their role to a T. I just felt like Tato's contributions were really, really amazing. The fact that he had the perfect priority of, like, water and land presence. Vinchester also did a great job of this whole game. Stuck to his role. The amount of transporting here he did. We got camel archers from Tato. Like, look at the teamwork here. They're here together. Viper essentially held 1v2 on this side for a long time, though, against Doubt and Jordan. And he just maybe went for the right play with the traction trebs. Those traction trebs for the front players seem very, very strong. So maybe that was it. If Vinch got the lands generation, he could have played, like, trebs and arbs with Britons and just held the line. And then on the other side, you go for a traction treb civ. So you just go fortifications and you hold the line. It's interesting strat. I wonder if this will be meta now. If you can't get Britons, you always try and get, like, a traction treb civ here. Because the best teams are not going to let this game end quickly. It will always go late. Maybe you always want tractions there. That or, like, maybe Japanese trebuchets could be really good. Maybe Bohemians, then you can get, like, Hufnitsa later. You got some options. All right, guys, we got Nomad. Very important for Onimaru Vanguard to get some wins because it's group stage, and starting off 0-4 would put them in a very big deficit. We got Viper in the green, Viper T-Seeing in the north as the Mongols. His dock is way down in the south. We got Vinchester TCing as the Chinese, very close to the Viper, so we'll have that support. And his dock is actually near Viper's TC in the north. And then Tato is down here in the south. Tato's dock is also in the south. Tato's playing Magyars. Other players on the shoreline, oh my goodness. Dude, if this was like an Airbnb or something, amazing little spot, you know? You have your morning coffee up here. You throw up the latest T90 video. You just chill. You watch the fishies out there. You get a little fishing rod. You have some beers, whatever. I can envision a whole day here as a vacation. In Age of Empires, this sucks. This sucks. Like, you can't farm around the TC. Oh my. It even looks worse than it really is. Because it looks like there's no land over here. But yeah, he's got to like... Well, I mean, he can find some stone and gold around. And there's some hunts, but like space-wise, it's a problem. Freaking Andy's over here playing as the Tupi. Andy's pretty close, so Andy can maybe support him. I'm expecting Andy to play into a castle with the Tupi. And then we got Malians from Doubt. Doubt is pretty close over here to Vinchester and to Viper. So we'll see. Sometimes having that one chaotic player who's kind of hidden away isn't bad. And I will say that this little... inlet, this area of water is kind of like a natural wall for Jordan, so that does protect him a little bit. So he could maybe expand this way over time, expand to all that back area. I would say if you look at this just in terms of like space, if you look at this line of TCs for Onimaru Vanguard, they've got a lot of space to expand this way. But typically water is pretty important as well. We'll see which teams end up going for water, if any. Things a lot faster start here with the 9 vills. And they actually discover a lot more too, because villagers walk around. There's more villagers in different groups walking around. Might have ended up discovering somebody here. I want Tato. Tato's dock is going to be right next to Jordan. They're not going to see each other for now. They will eventually. That's super funny. Again, like... This is where you're at the Airbnb and you're like, oh man, we weren't told there was going to be construction across the creek. But what a scam, man. They're hammering stuff over there, making noise bright and early in the morning. Tato's going to add a fishing ship looking for deep fish, and he might honestly find the town center from Jordan. Can you range this with a Mangano? Can you imagine? You can range it with a tower. I don't think you can range it with the Mangano. A trebuchet, though. And Tato, will he see it? He won't see it. No. All right. I just got really hungry, and I got really distracted by a random comment in chat. Don't mind me. ADHD is a little crazy today. I'm sure some of you guys can relate. Vinch is going to be in feudal age faster for his team. He's still adding some fishing ships, though. He is very close to Andy on water. I think he's actually going to be the one trying to play water. They will have scouted with their sheep, and they located Andy there. Also, Andy tends to play water pretty frequently. So option A, you're just like dominating Andy on water, so he doesn't disrupt your team. Option B... if he's going fast castle into a castle drop or something with his Civ, which it's kind of known for, you just kill his fish before he gets there. So. Okay. Tato signals this. He knows Jordan is here. And Tato's going to be walking this way. And we'll see Jordan's vills. Doesn't see the mining camp, but he definitely knows Jordan's around here. This looks very confusing otherwise, right? Tato's just going to run on this way. I don't know why exactly, but Tato's pretty amazing with quick walls, so I doubt Jordan's going to be able to kill that villager. Keep you updated. Okay, Varian just gave very specific breakdown of what he's eating, and it sounds amazing. And mods, can we ban him, please? Thank you. Varian's been around long enough. He knows the rules. Whatever. We lost a 7-year sub. We'll get one more. Dude, the description was so mean. You could have just said you were eating pizza. You had to be all descriptive as well. Tatosville, where does it go? The Tatos villager still walking around. No loom. So she might play a chaotic role here. Here comes the Navy from Vinch. Vinch opening with fires, which means he takes down Andy's docks pretty quickly. But the weird dynamic is you open aggressively to take down the docks, and now the Hawks are just going to come out. You probably want to add in Hawks for the most part after this if you're Vinch, which then means you're in a standstill because you're making very little progress on water. So we'll see. Villager from Tato. Walled in. Expected. Building a barracks there. That's going to be annoying. You don't want Tato behind your base. There are the Hawks from Andy. Andy's going to pivot here. Andy is just going to play full water. So he had, like... It's crazy, this new water meta, right? Like, it was 8 Navy against, like, 0 for a second. And now he's actually... Well, he might not be able to fully recover this, to be honest. He does lose the Hawk. He might lose his dock. So the numbers for Vinchester are paying off so far. Yeah, taking down the dock is nice, but his fish are still alive. Jordan's TC is looking fine. He's dropping a stable. He's walling himself in because he's expecting a stable from Tato, which would be correct. Viper is on the way to Castlage with Vils on stone. Viper's going to be going for Mangadai. Crazy Castlage time for Viper. Dowd hasn't clicked up yet. And Viper's right next to him, too. So, like, if they knew this, they could walk forward and castle drop Dowd's face, but I don't think they have the knowledge yet. Knowledge might have to come from Tato. It's a lot of Hawks there. Vinchester's continuing to take the engagement. He likes the fires, and he's going to believe in those fires. And he continues to roll on through Andy here, who I think is a little bit surprised to see the Chinese player playing water. Vinchester's had a really nice series. And he knows that Andy's on the back foot with the numbers, too. So he's actually, this is smart. He's getting behind it because Andy's trying to create more ships and send them to the south. Yeah, so he's getting some damage in on them. I don't know. Andy looks like he's in big trouble. If Vinch full engages... Yeah, there's some weak ships in there for Andy, right? Scout from Tato looking around. Jordan's going to be in Castlage going for Lancers. Viper is going 2 and 3 TCs. He's right next to Doubt. And neither player has a clue. Like, they're right next to each other. Imagine if Doubt siege pushes in. Like, Viper's TCs are crazy. The Hawks and Fire still engaging. Andy's still trying to recover. He has kept most of his fish alive. But just feels like he's always behind. Tato's hoping to find some damage with the scouts. I think he needs to tell Viper what's happening. Like, he's got the scout here, and he needs to tell Viper, like, bro, get your castle up fast, because Doubt's over here. Let's not forget there's also the Navy in the south. And some Navy from Jordan, and some Navy from Doubt, so that's what Doubt's been focused on. Tato's fish are largely safe for now, because he's sailing away with them. But there's the castle from Viper. And yeah, Doubt sees that. There's nothing he can do about it. That castle's going to go up for Viper. Viper will have 3 TC boom. Not uninterrupted because he's lost some of his fish. But that castle's going to go up and he'll make Mangadai. And that will be really frustrating. But economically, I think like the team's actually in a better spot right now for Onimaru Vanguard because Doubt's got his fish secured and Jordan's got his fish secured. But then you got Vinch. And Vinch is just like slow but steady making this progress against Andy. And eventually these fires are going to make it down to the south to deal with Jordan and to deal with Doubt in theory. Mangadai coming out from Viper. Again, he has not had good food eco. And he's on 3 TCs. So it will be very difficult for him to boom. Tato not able to do enough for his team. Jordan actually going for the Hawks from the Ketons. Wow, that's pretty massive. So you get the extra attack, right? So the Hawks, if they go this way, could help out Andy a lot. I think that's what Jordan needs to do. He needs to get down here fast. To be honest, though, Andy's doing okay. Like, he's holding the line. Oh, and he's now in Castlage. Yeah, they're fine. I didn't realize Andy was in Castle. Yeah, I mean, they're in a really good position then. They're going to completely win water. Magyar Hussar coming out from Tato, though. That's kind of wild. And he'll try and pressure Andy, and Andy needs some crazy quick walls. Crazy if he gets it, too. That's ridiculous, man. He won't get it here as well, right? Well, he fails with that one. But Jordan can send over camels in support. Again, like, for those that watch Viper play a lot, it's not an uninterrupted boom, right? His 7 fishing ships have been in and out of his dock. It's only 7. The other players have so many more. But if he never loses a Mangadai, he can give Vinchester a lot of space. I think the issue is that Vinch essentially won full water, and he didn't win it. Like, I thought he was winning that fight. How did Andy make it to Castlade so fast? That's ridiculous. And he's so good at that. He's so good at, like, low numbers and getting good value from it. And, yep, there goes the fishing ships for the Viper. Viper might need to drop another castle or something. Mangadai luckily only cost wood and gold. There's no real defensive military from Andy himself. He is depending on Jordan to be here. He's depending on Doubt to be here. Doubt's going to try and make knights. And Doubt gets into Vinch's eco. Vinch was not expecting this pressure to make it through. Nice damage from Doubt. I like the fact that they got some counterplay on lands because the pressure's starting to mount a little bit over here. And Tato dropping TCs behind this, so he won't have all of his fish flowing freely, but he's still prepping some economy. And Andy's having a bit of a rough time here. And what this should mean is that Andy can't completely focus on water because he's getting disrupted here. Are those camels? Good if they can actually attack against the Cav, but they don't have the armor, really. No armor upgrades even researched from Jordan. I think he's got to get the first armor upgrade, ideally, but again, he's also playing on water, and nice micro here from Viper. Viper's feasting right now. And he's got a lot of idols right now. Doubt's got to send some support. Over here, University from Viper. He'll have Ballistic soon. Can Viper carry his team without the fish? 0 fishing ships is normally at the very least bad for the score, but could be the case for Andy here. Andy's stocks are starting to go down against Vinchester. Reminder, it's just so important. I know it's a long group stage, but there's other, like, all the other teams in this are really, really good. I think Vanguard needs to snag at least 1 win today. Splitting 2-2 would be a disappointment for Capybara at that point, but yeah, you got to get at least 1 win. It's a play all 4. Viper's got 15 Mangadai, but there are town centers everywhere from Doubt. And there go the fishing ships for Andy. Not what he would have wanted. Maybe Jordan could have supported here a bit faster, but he's been around the map with the camels. He's had to defend freaking Andy. Population within reach for Capybaras. And it feels like their land setup is a little bit more secure. Doubt's going for Ram, so he wants to, like, go for Vinch's TC or something. Viper's Mangadai kind of unkillable at the moment as Andy's hoping for a castle. Oh no, this hurts for Andy. No! If he just had some time to get this castle up, he could make some units. Yikes, that castle's denied at 50% as well, so you can't just delete it and have the stone to build it elsewhere. That was all the stone that Andy had too. Oh, that's really bad. He has to delete it. Now, Viper's not over here, and Doubt's going full send over here. So Viper needs to bring what's left of his military to defend from this. Vinch could have some problems. But yeah, this castle foundation, I don't think you can leave it if you're Viper and Tato. The Doubt's coming over. Jordan's coming over. And they're going to help try and let him do this. The thing is, Doubt is fighting on the other side. So he fights before Jordan comes in. Jordan does get through there. And Viper's fighting on the other side as well. And Viper's castle gets denied. And Doubt is going to castle drop him. And Doubt lands a huge attack round as well. That was so good from Doubt. And of course, Viper lost his whole other army. The castle goes up. This is amazing for Onimaru Vanguard. If this castle goes up, it is between Viper and Vinchester. And Vinch has never really been able to fully recover water. Shout out to Jordan, who's got red dots all over the place. And that castle is just so huge. Great production from Doubt. He got castle dropped by Viper. And he's been able to make this many knights. It really does show you, though, how important the fish is, right? Like, he's got so much extra fish eco. Viper will take down the Mangonel. But, dude, these knights are just massacring Vinch's economy. Andy can come in behind this with Blackwood archers pretty quickly, too. And more fishing ships can be added from the Vanguard team if they really want to. Viper can't send military this way because that castle's up. That's the problem. So Vinchester can always just be focused down by the knights and probably more rams from Doubt. Blackwoods are going to sneak into the back. Vinch has some problems elsewhere. Vinch not noticing this. And yeah, game's starting to slip away. You notice? Good reaction time, but you're going to have more to deal with over here. Jordan's TC looking good right now. Looking good. His Navy count's looking good. His fishing ship's looking good. And Keaton's was an awesome play. You actually pick them because of the Hawks, guys. Like, maybe you pick them because of the camels or something as well. But no, like, the extra attack on the Hawks was huge to help recover on water. Doubt going for another castle. It's not a proper Doubt game without one or two questionable castles. This castle, classic. He completes one castle. It looks amazing. He has to somehow get one denied. I just don't understand this guy. Like Doubt, it was completely fine. Just like boom. You don't need to go for another aggressive castle. He can't help himself. But we'll see. Maybe it completes. It's denied right now at 69%. They still could bring the army here to eventually complete it. Doubt could always bring more vills. We got lots of Blackwood archers here from Andy. For now, the Lord shines on us with his denied castle. See if he can make it. I mean, again, they don't, like... If this gets denied, they lose this game. You think, why didn't you just castle here, bro? Like, a castle here is completely fine. Doubt's bringing more vills. Viper will know that that's going to happen. Viper's waiting with his Mangudai. And Vinch is going to try and wall this up. Vinch is kind of like a non-factor right now. And the Blackwoods pop up so fast. You just get so many of them. It's going to be really difficult. I also think Blackwood's really good against Mangudai because they're cheap and they're ranged. And they're mobile as well. So it's a really nice unit. Vinchester, expecting another castle, is placing gates to stop the castle. Doubt doesn't know this is walled in yet. And now it's Andy's turn for a castle. Which, depending on how the siege goes... could be kind of questionable as well. There is siege coming from Vinch. Don't tell me they Doubt again. Because Doubt will run in to try and complete that one, which he can't do. Viper sitting underneath that castle. Big moments here. Mangonel goes down. Is it a double Doubt? It's a double Doubt for Team Doubts. Another failed castle. For now. Could always turn. Andy pops out. Nice attack round. Loses his Mangonel, though. He can't push it. He can't push it. And Doubt can't complete this. He deletes that castle. He says, screw it. I'm going to place another one here. And he's trying to place it where the Mangudai is standing, so he can't place it. Andy has to be careful. Doubt's going to back up, place it there now. Population's still really good for this team. Jordan's completely untouched. That's not exactly true. He's being raided a little bit. So even though the castles have been denied, and Doubt might have another denied castle, they could still win this game. Mangonel goes down. Castle for Andy still can't complete, bro. And Doubt's castle here is denied again. I cannot believe it. Third Doubt castle. He goes to build the next one with 5 vills, by the way. This guy is ridiculous. And now Vinch is going to build a castle. Andy really is committed to this. He's hard committed to this. I think you just need to back up. Give up the position. Don't be so stubborn. Give up the position. Give it up. Camels are here from Jordan. Oh, nice timing. Nice timing. Doubt's castle didn't go up over here. Well, Vinchester's go up. Vinchester's might not go up. Andy's will actually go up. And it will be weak. But a castle completed nonetheless. And my goodness, the chaos here. But all the chaos has been happening in Vinchester's economy or Viper's economy. And that's normally a very bad sign. And Jordan's going for the Lancers now. And he's in the Imperial Age. He can mix in some siege of some kind. And he's got the monks around, which he doesn't exactly need anymore. But why not convert the siege workshop? That's certainly not going to hurt. Doubt's turn to deny a castle. Tries his best. Will kill some vills there. Vinch's castle will go up. But Jordan's dropping a... Jordan's dropping a castle right here. Man, this has been a wild game with castles. I mean, technically that's questionable, but he's an imp, and he feels like there's no way that they can get close. And now it's Viper's turn for a semi-awkward castle over on this side. Crazy. I mean, Viper's castle's going to go up, and then he can make trebs. And down won't be an imp. Thing is, Vinch is like dead. I mean, not completely defeated, but Vinch is in trouble here. He's going to lose a lot of ills. Tato and Viper both an imp, though. I kind of thought that with Jordan and imp, they were going to win it anyways. But if Viper has Mangadai and Trebs... Also, there's a very good chance that, like, Doubt's imp TC, when he does click imp, gets sniped over here. Like, I could see Doubt having some real problems. Still no Imperial Age from Andy. He's going to continue to pile on some pressure with some castles, which is not a bad thing. But, you know, recurve bow cav archers soon for Tato. Trebuchet soon for Tato. Jordan's got a lot of camels, though. Crazy game. Earning Lobster saying, why no Cannon Galleons? You showed up too late for Cannon Galleons, dude. Game 1 and Game 2, we saw a bunch of Cannon Galleons. So I would go back and watch those if you're a Cannon Galleon fan. Here, I don't think there's that much value right now. Like, you need all your pop on land because there's a lot of chaos happening. Later on, you could add some Cannon Galleons from the water, but you kind of need to push inward right now. If they had thousands of resources to spend all the time, I would like it. Okay, Doubt's imp TC. There. I mean, I guess Viper's probably going to prioritize taking down this castle. But, like, they'll take down Doubt. No, we'll take down Doubt's castles first. Doubt will probably make it to him. So crazy, the multitasking in this game. Doubt's losing a lot of army, though. Like, he's essentially tossing knights away to have time. And Tato is going to treb this down for free. Tato and Viper are going to be in a very nice spot. I don't know if Blackwood Archer, like Castle Age Blackwood Archers, are going to be that good against recurve bow cav archers and elite Mangadai. But I guess they are cheap. So with the cost on them, you can lose a lot and still be okay. Vinch hoping to hold on. Jordan's been so pivotal here with this castle and these trebuchets. And now we have a raid headed this way from Tato, giving his team a shot. Team has been behind in population pretty much since the start of Feudal Age. But suddenly some big raids will pull Jordan back. This gives Vinch time to maybe come back into the game. All the camels have to come back here for Jordan. Doubt losing another castle. This will be his only remaining castle he will lose. So Doubt can't make trebs, which means Viper's unpushable. Viper's like absolutely unpushable if they can't get trebs out. Yeah, like it's really bad for them if they can't push Viper's castles. How are they supposed to stop the Mangadai? Magyar Hussar are running around. Cav archers go around. Jordan tries to trap. Jordan's going to swing the whole way around here. Yeah, it's true. Also, Farimba isn't an option for Doubt. He's getting Farimba now. Honestly, he might have enough time for Farimba. Oh, man. Viper found all the Doubt villagers back here. What is happening? What is happening, dude? Onimaru Capybaras have the population lead. Tato and Viper bringing it back for the team. And Doubt with a game to forget, maybe. I thought they for sure had won this game. I think from their perspective, they were just thinking, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, and fine. But you can't make any small mistakes against this team. They're so good. Cav archers for Tato will be tossed away, though. He's clearly very distracted. Oh, God. Oh, God. Massacre. But Viper's still unpushable. Viper's unpushable. Tato's got another army here. They also have better quality army, right? They've got pretty much maxed out Imperial Age armies. Maybe now things will be different now that Andy can get the Blackwoods upgraded. Not sure what army Vinch is going to make. But obviously he's going to make some army here at some point. Because he's on the way to Imp as well. Jordan's only castle will go down. Castles have just been the problem for this team. And down goes the castle for Doubt. Oh, man. What a hold from Viper and Tato and Vinch. Just incredible. I think I would have the Chinese player just go Cavalier. I don't know how good his eco is, but I think that that would be my choice. It's good enough. It's mobile. It's tanky. You don't want to play a ranged unit because you don't want your whole team to be vulnerable against skirms. Ketons kind of struggle in the late game, right? Like, they lack the bloodlines, so their camels are really squishy. So against the really high damage Cav Archer style units, they actually still are not very good. That's part of the issue, is their imp player hasn't really had a super strong unit to go for. All of Doubt's TCs are going down. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Like, Andy tried to full stonewall the map. Almost got it, like, trapped in here, too. Doubt's gonna get completely rolled. Where is his army? He needs all of his army together. Meanwhile, Viper's got 50 elite Mangudai. 5-0. And that's the same for the heavy Cav Archers and the Magars on the other side. Doubt will try and snipe the Trebs to keep Andy's position here. That's a good engagement. To take the Treb at least. But, like, he's still losing all of his Cav here to these Cav Archers that are stacked up. Over on this side, Camels and Blackwoods push back against Viper. Okay, so they push him back. But the Mangudai just shred everything. It's so rare to see elite Mangudai these days because you just normally don't have the time. And they were pressuring Viper, but it really just came down to some of those castles. They had the lead, they needed to relax instead of go for the killer blow. And Doubt tried to finish them quickly, which of course makes sense because Final Form Viper and Final Form Mongols are dangerous. But it is just the quality of the units right now for Viper and for Tato that have changed this game. It's going to be Fire Lancers from the Chinese player. And we have a Cav Archer switch from Jordan. But Cav Archers for the Ketons are just significantly worse. Significantly worse. You don't have the extra attack. You don't have the extra range. I think he does need to switch, though, to be honest. I can't disagree with it because the Camel's just not working anymore. Against Fire Lancer, especially. Well, Viper having fun microing. Andy having fun microing. If you're enjoying. Happy to show you some high-level Age of Empires, I guess. Tato needs a little bit more siege here to break Andy. That's what he's waiting for. He needs to get like 4 Trebs. And then they start to roll down these buildings right now. Things have stabilized. Doubt has had to reset up his eco. They do have a lot of space. Pretty much every area of the map is filled right now. Also, the water could start to become a factor again. We have these towers on the shoreline from Vinch. He might try and come back on water. Because you actually see some trade on water if you look at Capture Age. It's probably a good call if you have the water secured. Not sure how long the water will be secured. There's the occasional boat getting converted, occasional dock getting converted. Yeah, so just compare the stats. Like, Ketons just drop off so hard. 60 HP against 80. Difference in the base attack. I guess you have a little bit more armor, but Mangudai fires so quickly. And Viper's got drill onagers now, too. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Boom! Oh, come on, Andy. Why'd you have to micro? Okay, Andy micro's back, but that's going to strike fear into the hearts of the Blackwood Archers. And there's always the threat that 1 or 2 onagers can arrive, and you really don't need that many of them. Choo-choo! Viper says, hey, Doubt. How's it going, bro? Heard you're booming back here. Let me just take out your buddy's castle. I'm going to move right through to your eco. Crazy how fast these rams are moving. And Tato's still not being pushed. Vinch is still not being pushed. And Viper's just going to mow them down. Might even see Siege Onager from Viper. It is worth pointing out you will run out of gold soon if you're Viper. This might be the only gold he's taking. But you just can't kill this army. Yeah, good luck. Doubt tries to snipe the onagers. Impossible. Rams taking down the houses. Panic castles behind this from Doubt. And all the army comes over to support. Good luck. And Viper might even let him complete this castle just so he can destroy a full castle this time. But even this could be denied. Everyone's over here attacking Viper. No one can stop this. And I don't even think they can stop Viper. Viper can 1v3 them right now. Amazing play from Viper. Yeah, castle completes. Blackwoods come in. More like flatwood archers. Oh, God! It's an absolute massacre. The Rams take down the castle, and Viper's having fun. And down drops another castle here. He's trying to do anything he can to just stop the pain. And the pain just keeps getting worse. What a comeback. Might fall into the category of throw for Vanguard. I think this one's going to be painful. They're really going to want this one back. They were ahead in the castle age. There were a bunch of failed castles from Dowd and from Andy. I think if engagements go slightly different, if they're just a bit safer, right? I think that things are maybe okay. Like, I felt like for Dowd, after his castles got denied, he had to make like 50 more Cavalier to try and get, or Knights, I guess, at that point, to try and get back and complete the castles. And so I think he overinvested into a lot of engagements because he felt the need to keep the position and go for the castle. 3-0 for Capybaras in the opening series of this big tournament. $60,000 on the line in this tourney. So this is, there's a lot of salmon on the line. Still a playoff 4. Still an important next win for Vanguard. We'll see if they can rally it together. My prediction was 3-1. So for my predictions, I would really like to see Vanguard snag a win. They were super close there. But yeah, guys, just like at a certain point, while the economy is important and military count's important, it's also military type, right? And Viper's Mangadai just could not be killed. And then in the case of Tato's Cav Archers, it eventually got to that point as well. Those units were just significantly stronger. Thing is, as I almost choke on my drink, the thing is, though, we see that all the time. People can have inferior units, and they can make more of them, and they can have better economy, and they can hold the map. What do you need to hold the map? Castles. And, yeah. I asked myself in this moment, would I really be focusing on the failed castles if it was some other team instead of Dowd's team? And, honestly, yeah. Like, those castles were huge, dude. Those were the pivotal moments in them losing momentum there. Okay, so... Again, playoff 4, which is really nice for my YouTube audience because you guys don't like the spoilers with the length of a video, right? Playoff 4, we've got Lewis coming in here for the Capybaras. They've already secured themselves, if I'm not mistaken, I think 4 points. Because if you win the set, you get an extra point, and then you get a point for extra win. So it's 4 points minimum. They would obviously love to get the 5th. But they figured they could bring in Lewis here because they're in a really nice spot. You got Viper in the middle. See, again, the pocket position is forward here, which is a very difficult role to play. There's also elephants out here. Viper is determined to get one, but this Komodo dragon is hunting him down right now. And so far, Viper has taken no damage. How? That's Viper's Black Forest experience right there. I don't know how you take no damage to the Scout or the Komodo. But listen, I was just saying the comms, right? So... I wonder who Viper's going to team with. If Viper's going to play Army, who is he going to coordinate with? I would say it probably makes a lot of sense. Honestly, it could go either way. But I was thinking initially you just kind of let Lewis on his own. Let Lewis do his own thing. But I think Lewis might want that direction and coordination. Vinch has shown in this series he could just do his own thing. So you probably let Vinch alone. Vinch will like maybe play water and turtle up. If Viper plays Army, maybe we see scouts from Lewis and they coordinate. But there is the water element. So, as Lewis actually walking with 2 villagers over here, I'm not really sure why. It's a bit uncommon. Maybe just brought 2 for safety. But, yeah, you could play water or you can play land. Viper getting attacked by a Komodo again. And we'll lose a little bit more HP. Look, after the Komodo dies, you still lose HP. Because it has, like, some type of venom effect. And, I mean, Viper, are we not getting a little adventurous here? Viper? There's a dolphin. There's a Komodo dragon. There's an elephant. There's a scout. And there's a man with a hammer. And the man with the hammer is getting attacked through the diagonal palisade. Through the diagonal palisade. And you can't quick wall out venom damage. Viper loses the villager. And a funeral is held. I don't know. Like, that to me is just greedy. That just makes zero sense to me. Please make an argument for why you need that. You got one extra elephant here. You got a rhino here. You got a rhino here. You got sheep galore. You got the ostrich. Like, you just don't need that. But I guess with how well the first one went, he probably thought he could get away with everything. They are up 3 games. So, Lewis kind of looking like a scout's build here. I didn't introduce the other team. We got Jordan playing this role. Jordan did this before with the Tatars. And a crazy comeback this team had. So he's familiar with this role. Dowd also played the Saracens here. So he loves this civ. He did Doc. Kind of looks like Dowd's going to play water right now. Now we got Andy. I would always guess that Andy's going to play water because he's more of a water player. Viper's going to stone? What? Okay, see, this would explain the food, right? Theodore says when you're up 3-0, you can take dumb risks like that. I mean, yes. I think there's also an argument to take 0 dumb risks. And if you take 0 dumb risks, you cement yourself into the top 2 as quickly as possible. Viper wants to go for a fast castle drop. So normally you'd see someone go like archers or scouts from here. Winchester. Playing towards water a little bit. No villagers on stone that I can see, so no castle from him. He's also not fully walled. Lewis. Pushing in his zebra, walling up. Has some fish. Kind of looks like very passive fast castle more than anything from him. And Doubts with 2 docks. He's going to go for galleys. Yeah, Viper, obviously fast castle, incorporating the stone. The walls give him the wood. He's got the food. I think that is walled. You can barely see the tree there, but it is walled. A Champion will get found and sniped here. It is a Muisca Champion, but I think still the scout from Vinch should be able to get it. Or sorry, Andy should be able to get Vinch. Jurchin scouts attack faster, and Jordan's on the prowl looking for damage. And bro, what on earth? This is so... Viper hasn't scouted what his opponent's doing. There's no way a full stone wall should ever work from Winchester. What I'm seeing here is like the most... Bro, this is... They sub Lewis in. They're making some confusing decisions, and then they're all going to blame Lewis, jokingly, the entire week. Like, this is Lewis's fault. You're never going to full stone wall here. This is too much to wall. There's no way. 0 army? Jurchins? Of course it's going to be scout. Like, this is horrible. Jordan is just going to massacre Winchester as Winchester goes for the quick walls. Well played. The fishing ships are kind of in harm's way for Lewis. Still not really sure what he was going to do. Jordan killed another Vill. Jordan's going to kill another Vill. Andy's even here attacking the barracks, disrupting the villager. Scouts are going to come around this way. Andy's harassing. Walls are still going this way. Jordan can still deny it because that is a massive stone wall to complete. Winchester's having a rough time right now. And Viper, he's going to get his castle. Honestly, he should probably go very aggressive because, like, a defensive castle doesn't make a lot of sense if your team is behind. But then again, a forward castle is suicide. But realistically, they've fallen so far behind, he needs the castle right here. And if he could get away with it, that would be pretty ridiculous. But like, listen, this isn't like what Winchester's trying to do here just makes 0 sense. To try and full stonewall, it's all because they don't have the info. And in some ways that is on Viper because Viper never confirmed and scouted that. But I feel like they should always expect this to be scouts from Jurchins. It's just rookie mistake to not scout to see what your opponent's opening is from a team who's otherwise played amazing. We'll see how good these Hussite wagons end up being for Viper. We'll see how good the play ends up being for Lewis. Lewis will support with some scouts. Winchester's been losing his water control, by the way, to Andy. And outpost from Jordan, I think he's probably really confused what Viper's going to do here. Viper's got enough stone for a castle. He's going to drop that castle. He's also going for a monastery. I wouldn't say lots of monks makes a lot of sense. It does feel like he knows they're so far behind he needs to do something, though. Oh, he's got a castle there? Okay. I actually don't love it because I feel like it'd be better to just build a castle that protects your wood and your gold. But it is somewhat in the middle. Obviously, if it's super far forward, maybe there's problems here. Viper does kind of pre-wall it. The archers are here. I don't know if the archers do too much, though. A castle for Viper is probably going up. You know how it is when I cast TTL and we do the play all threes. And then someone's winning the series, but then in game 3, they, like, throw a game or something. I'm like, remember this game? I don't want to speak bad things into existence for this team, but just remember this game in the event that this goes deep into the group stage and things start looking questionable. I think Viper wanted that relic. Jordan came in and sniped the monk as well. Viper's eco is very weak. That's a very nice snipe. I mean, Lewis will try and contribute with a couple scouts. Doubt's got the full fish boom, though. And so Lewis doesn't really have a great economy compared to Doubt. He will be in Castle Age faster, though. Here's his contribution to the Worlds. Just a couple scouts and a couple camels. Yeah, Viper will 100% joke that this is Lewis's fault. Which I actually think is so funny. I knew Twitch chat would do the same as well. To be clear, though, you know, it's a team sport or team esport, and your decisions have to gel. And like what Viper did not gel with what Vinchester did not gel with what Lewis tried, right? And Jordan's just got to keep the pressure out. He's just got to hold. He's done a nice job, builds the market to give himself some time, but that will go down very quickly. And actually, he'll lose the whole market, so he loses 175 wood. He's got to panic in the back here. Remember, Onimaru Capybaras brought it back last time. We got 2 Castle Age armies heading in towards Jordan, who does not have a lot of help from Doubt, who does not have a lot of help from Andy, because they've got the fishing ships. Doubt's got 2 stables, though, and he will probably bring the camels over. And Jordan just held. If you're Jordan, you've kind of done your job, in the sense that you delayed Vinchester and let Andy get a free win there. I say free. Vinchester's still trying. And Vinchester is mostly going to be walled as well, as long as he completes the wall. Nope. Scouts get through, but maybe he's tracking that. I think Doubt's prepared for this. Doubt's like, oh, you're coming to me? I'm already walled. I was already prepared. Not a problem for me whatsoever. Camels, they don't do any bonus damage against these wagons, but they're so tanky, it doesn't really end up making that big of a difference, right? He's going to take it down anyways. And Viper's Hussite wagons are slow, dude. They are super slow. Now, another player would save the weak camel. Doubt just patrols and hopes for the best. And Doubt gets the clear up anyways. Doubt about to be 3 town centers with the 11 fishing ships working. Also, I like how Doubt brought the Navy here, so it still contributes. Same with Andy towards the middle. So that's just another thing that Viper and Lewis have to deal with if they cross. T90, would it not be a good idea to add a few trade carts between Lewis and Vinch already? No, it's way too exposed. You're trading through an open area in the middle of the map where there's going to be military. Also, the price of trade carts are really expensive. You kind of are at the limit. And not to mention that trade carts will move slow if you don't get the speed upgrade, so I think they're not in a good enough position to justify it. If there's any risk you're going to lose that trade, it's always going to be a bad move. In this case, it's like, not only is there risk, but their ecos are kind of weak. But honestly, maybe it's something they try. You got to take risks right now, right? It feels kind of high risk, high reward, so maybe. Very surprised that Jordan didn't just go for a siege workshop. I feel like a mangonel here would make it more difficult for Viper to advance out. But I guess they're still the Navy. The Hussite wagons should be very good against the Navy, and they have been so far. I don't hate Cav Archers from Andy in the long run, but against Hussite Wagons, it does get kind of annoying. He adds the Mangonel, as we were talking about, and Hussite Wagons just get completely flattened. I think Viper's distracted as well. So that Mangonel starts to connect. And yeah, these Hussite Wagons are going to go down. Viper's looking at the main army right now. Nice runner micro from Andy, and he gets 2 free kills. Yeah, this is where Viper's attention was. Let's see how the Grenadiers do. I mean, these wagons are pretty damn strong, man. Doubt tries to do some runner micro there. Viper doesn't bite. And now they realize, okay, let's just add a siege workshop. And Cav Archers can be over to Vinch's base, who's not fully walled because he lost his little dock block over there, but he's mostly walled. Vinch will play some Guecha Warriors. Guecha Warriors feel very good here. I think they're good against Cav Archers. You need to get the mass of them, though. Doubt getting a raid here on Lewis, who's had a good game. Lewis, though, playing catch-up because of his team situation, but they're starting to maybe find some good engagements. Harassing back here against Jordan. Guys, Viper's, like, playing very smooth economic game behind this. Could maybe be ahead of Jordan soon. And Doubt will still clue up Lewis. Lewis doesn't have any blacksmith upgrades, which feels very late. Like, just building the blacksmith now is a surprise to me. And Viper might not have as free of a boom as we think if the Cav Archers come in this way, so. Man, those Cav Archers run directly into the TC as I say that. And we got units here. And we got units into the castle from Doubt. Doubt's got to be a little careful here. These camels are probably going to go down soon because they're trapped in here. I think now that there's siege on the front line for this team, they can kind of hold to their advantage. Doubt's in the exact situation that thrives for him, right? It's like you get a big eco lead and you hold it. And if you have a bigger eco lead than the opponent, if you have a bigger eco than the pocket, you can afford to make a couple mistakes. And hopefully that doesn't mean Doubt's going to fail with the castle. I feel like we're building up towards a pretty critical castle, but yeah, this is exactly where Doubt wants to be. Massive eco. But here's the Guecha Warriors. So it'll be Guecha Warriors and camels against the Cav Archers. And Guecha Warriors have ballistics, so I should be able to clear this up. I think the fact that Vipers come over here is probably a little unnecessary. Looks like someone in my chat is drunk right now. All right. All good. Just as long as things aren't too crazy. I can't believe I had like half of a beer on a cast. And then somebody... And then chat was saying T90 drunk. I had half of a beer. My behavior did not change massively. I was maybe a little bit more relaxed. But chat was immediately like, T90 drunk. Like, I'm that big of a lightweight. Like, come on, man. You were drunk? No, I wasn't, man. No, I wasn't. Believe me. if you thought that was bad. I did get drunk this week. I just got drunk the night after Regicide Rumble. So and at 2 a.m. I thought, that friend I haven't talked to in 4 years would really like to hear from me. And I almost called him. Luckily, I had this self-awareness to not do it on a Sunday night when he gets up at like 6 a.m. for work or something. I texted him the next day, though. I was like, hey, I thought of you last night. I almost called you. I thought you would have been super interested in catching up. And he was like, yes, that's what I was doing. I was staying up till 2 a.m. just waiting for your call. I assumed that was sarcasm. Castle there from Doubt. There we go, Doubt. You get the eco lead. You build a safe castle. And you slowly build out across the map. Wow, crazy concept. Now, if this was the previous game, Doubt would have placed the castle here. And then he would have overextended, lost his eco lead, lost his army. And Doubt, please don't have this castle also be an issue. I think he's going to be fine. Units are going this way from Vinch. He's had a great game since the failure before, but unfortunately his eco is just super weak. Oh, God. How does it always happen, even when I think a castle's fine? Nah, there we go. Doubt's got enough camels. Doubt's got some good upgrades. And Doubt patrol stacks on through that, and that castle will complete. But even a castle that looked safe for Doubt looks questionable for half a second here, so. Have you ever had a drunk stream, T90? No, I mean, I've had some drinks. I did Liquor League before, which is where if things happen in the game, you drink, which is really fun, and we need to bring that back. But, I wouldn't say I was drunk. I was tipsy, maybe, but... Viper, somehow, even though he has 3 castles here, he's had issues because Jordan has waltzed right through them. Probably walked right through there near where the zebra is. Pretty crazy from Jordan. And now Doubt's Imp. Doubt doesn't even need Imperial Age to win this fight. But in the Imperial Age, he'll definitely win this fight. And Viper's Hussite Wagons. Just not enough right now. He will be an Imperial Age himself, though. Andy will be an Imp. I have no clue what Andy's army's going to be, so it might end up being Navy, actually. A little confused by the lack of production from him. Maybe it is still going to be Cav Archers. Vietnamese Cav Archers are still a very, very good unit here. Doubt actually got Barista Man. Speaking of drinks, Barista Man. It's actually Bimaristan, but Dave called it Barista Man once, and I can't call it anything else. Anyways, that tech is really strong, actually. Your monks passively heal nearby units. And I think it's still bugged. I think it doubles the healing if you hold a relic with one monk and then don't hold a relic with another monk and you walk around. I don't know if they ever fixed the bug because it's such a specific bug. I made a video on it. But yes, if one of these monks was just holding a relic, it would double the healing. Again, unless they fixed it, somebody else can test it because I'm too lazy. Doubt full focus here. He's engaging against the walls. He needs to engage on Lewis's army. Lewis does have the faster attacking camels, but Saracens have more HP on their camels. And Jordan needs to come into the game with something. He's dropping docks, like he wants to go for some water. And then, guys, honestly, like, Andy seems a little bit confused on what units to make against the Guecha warriors, and he is losing all of his military right now. If Lewis can hold against Doubt, I feel like there's a comeback that could happen here. But Lewis just so far behind on some upgrades this game. He doesn't have full armor yet. He doesn't have heavy camel yet. He does have Viper here in support. Feels like there's a slight chance for Onimaru Capybaras. Viper's already adding trade, by the way, so they're already thinking late game. And Blast Furnace needs to come in. I think you need to wait for Blast Furnace and Heavy Camel if you're Lewis, but you might not be able to wait. He's trying to wait. Doubt clearly wants to fight. Those camels are tanky against the Hussites. There's also a bit of a hill here for Lewis, so now he'll take the engagement. Let's see. I just think with Saracens having all that extra HP, it's really tough. And all this pressure is happening in Lewis's eco, so good luck producing more units if you're Lewis. You got to clear this now or never, I feel. And we got skirms, we got towers. Yeah, Andy's going to do enough to just, like, stop the pain on that side. And Lewis still needs some support here. Viper does have a lead Hussite wagon now. Viper getting attacked by loose swans now. So loose swans on the water here from the Jurchens. These things are not cheap. Bit of a Regicide Rumble throwback. We saw these during Regicide Rumble. Smart to switch into Navy, in my opinion. Viper's first castle is going to go down very quickly. Will they clear it up in the back? Lewis is going to clear it. So that's pretty big, but I think the issues are going to be elsewhere now. They pressured Lewis enough here. I think Doubt could maybe go to the middle. Doubt could maybe join up here and push Viper a little bit. It's going to have to be a stronger type of military. That's the only way that you can win this game if you're Onimaru Capybaras. And it will be Imp Camel in a second for Lewis. Doubt can't get his camels any stronger than they are right now. So if, like, Guecha War, if fully upgraded Guechas, Hussite Wagons, and Imp Camel is a better army comp, which I think you can make an argument it is, they can win this game. But man, losing your castles if you're Viper is so brutal. He's only going to have one to produce. They need to engage on this. I think Lewis is on the way. Lewis needs to get his army here now. These things are insane, bro. Insane. Look how fast the castle went down. My God. Yeah, and here comes Doubt. Where's Lewis? Where's Lewis? Lewis, 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 Lewis. Lewis needs to be here now, bro. Guechos as well need to be here. The whole team needs to be here. Jordan just making Luchuans. It's the only thing he's doing at the moment. He actually researched thunderclap bombs as well. Crazy. It's not cheap. Okay, there's the camels. Lewis engages. They should win this fight now. They should wreck this fight now. And he needs to be careful not to overextend. I also wonder, how do imp camels do? Look at the additional explosion. That's what thunderclap bombs does. I wonder how the camels do against the boats here. Viper's kind of out of it. He can't contribute with military units, right? Except the occasional Hussite wagon. The team is adding trade, so if they could hold, maybe they can get him to more castles. I wouldn't hate him switching to help. Here, this is a very nice fight. Andy had a lot of bombard cannons here. They're getting cleared out. Population's closer again. Doubt can tell that Lewis is about to engage on these boats. Yeah, they're about to... Oh, we got to pause. Or did my game crash? Why did that feel like it crashed to me? No, my game's still running. Okay. I'm paranoid because we had the crash the other day. But it like kind of froze up there for a half second. We're about to build up towards a fight. The military count's higher for Capybara. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We wait. It'd be so nice. I mean, Vanguard's going to feel like they threw the third game. If they could win the fourth game, though, just get one win on the board, that'd be so good. Okay, here we go. I mean, the thing is, the Luchuans shouldn't be that good against standard military units. Maybe I'm wrong on that. There go the Guechos. The Guechos are going to make a run for it. Past the Navy. Try and get in towards the trade routes. Now it's Lewis's chance to make a run. Keeping an eye on the camel HP here. Once the Luchuans hit them. They are pretty good against military units. That's Jordan's only job right now. Add trade and add the thunderclap bombs Luchuans. And here we go. Camels are going to go in. I think it's a good engagement to take. They lost everything. Oh my God. They lost almost everything there. And Jordan maybe only lost a couple units. Those units are insane. Jordan only has 18 kills, I guess, but it still felt very, very strong. Units are still running back into the trade. Doubt's chasing. They will clear this pretty quickly. Viper needs more military than 11, man. Like, Jordan's got 11, but he's got Luchuans. Viper's got 11, and he's got pikemen. Like, I think he needed to have Halb much faster here. I think he just kept clinging to the idea that Hussite wagons were going to do something for them. Love the amount of towers and castles and fortifications through the middle here for Onimaru Vanguard. And Viper's castle will go down to these Luchuans. Is there anyone else out there who, when they see the Luchuans swim around, or like sail around, or row around, I guess, it kind of reminds them of a water bug? Or is that just my childhood? I don't even know what type of insect. It just makes me think of an insect on top of the water. Big fight over here. I don't think thunderclap bombs does friendly damage, right? No friendly fire damage. So with that being the case, those additional explosions are super strong. Just double checking that. It doesn't say that there's any friendly fire kills anyways. Those explosions are super, super strong. Maybe it is. I'm double checking. Hold on. Did that? No, it didn't. It didn't look like... I don't know. I can't tell. It does friendly damage, but it's only 25% what it does to enemies. Ah, yeah. True. They have like a weird team bonus, right? I have like this weird bonus where they do less friendly fire or something because of that bonus. Which says a lot about that initial bonus in the first place. Okay, Camel, they're just going to try and run past this again. Get into the trade. which is back there, and it's not fortified. So yeah, they're holding the river, but they haven't actually pushed. And now that Bohemian Halbs are out, I feel like the Halbs could actually contribute against the Thunderclap bombs. Those camels are going through. Where's Doubt's camels at? Doubt's camels are here. Guys, can you tell the momentum is shifting a little bit? This is a bad sign when you've got a chase like that. He panic buys a castle to get a castle up in the trade, which is a good call, of course. But all of his army is advancing back. He's not pushing anymore. And now Jordan's Luchuan's starting to get picked off by the occasional Halb. Viper's got a couple more trade carts coming out behind this. And Lewis is deep in the trade. And Towers going up from Jordan as well. Yeah, they're going to feel the lack of lack of momentum here. Also, I feel like Andy doesn't know. Andy and Jordan don't know what military units they want to commit to as their main army. Like, Andy's military count is so low. Nice clear up from Doubt. Military count from Jordan being low, I understand, because he was just making boats. But, like, what's your army here, if you're Andy? Army can't be fortifications and the occasional skirm and cannon. I would say, like, a big army of rats and archers would make sense. I don't know exactly how they do against the Guechas, but feels like your best unit, maybe. Here comes Lewis. Is it coming home for Lewis? Probably too soon, depending on where you're watching. Probably not soon enough, depending on where you're watching. But Trebs are here from Lewis to push Doubt. All those camels that Doubt has in the back are on the way. And Lewis, just only 2 Trebs. You got to wait for more. At this level, you got to wait for more. It gives Doubt way too much time to react. Andy's castle denied. Guys, population is ahead for Onimaru Capybaras. How? How? Andy's trying to, like, switch into elephants, but, like, he's trying to make the tech switch on the front. This castle is just, like, lackadaisically on the front. He's bringing more vills, which he's just going to throw away. He could probably lose a couple vills and be okay with it. Like, Jordan isn't making any army besides the Luchuans. Andy doesn't know what army to make. I fear that Vanguard are throwing this right now. And it's not like Viper's been... Like, Viper, he just made the occasional Halb. That was the difference. The Hussite Wagons, of course, got some really good value this game. But, like, Viper's in a position where... Oh, man, I didn't see this. Oh, man, the trade. Sorry, I missed this, chat. Okay, so that's where Jordan's units went. I mean, that does affect the trade, but they can still stabilize the trade. I don't know. Like, I need to see more military from Jordan on land. I need to see more military from Andy. They got to finish this game. This, of course, is a huge effect, though. Because just, like, by these ships being here, that means you can't build your markets in the corner, which means your trade is way worse. Lewis is into the back again. T90. Daniela has 75k prize pool in her title. Is it 60k or 75k? So 75k is the clickbait title, which I should probably be using as well to get, in theory, the occasional extra viewer or excitement. Oh my god, Jordan. Oh, there's the explosions. There's the explosions. The main event has 60k and there's 15k in Division 2. So yeah, that's why I put 60k. I will change it to 75k so there's no confusion. That's what I was doing in the qualifier until I realized the main event only had 60k. The units are running through. Big raid! Big Doubt raid! Big Doubt raid! Camels everywhere! There are Halbs coming over, but camels everywhere. Oh my god. But now camel... What is happening? Just passings in chat because they're just running right by... And they're going to try and get into the trade. We're running by the Luchuans. This is extremely weird. There's trade cogs on the water there, too. Doubt's going to run over this way. Good move, because there's a lot of military chasing him. They do have a lot of towers. I saw Jordan building a lot. Doubt's also got a lot of army in his trade route. I don't think they'll lose that much. And they're pushing here. I think maybe Andy was waiting until he had more golds. And once he had more golds, he could really go into the elephants, which are just so good with the Vietnamese. It got a little bit worrying for them, but I think they're figuring it out now. Viper's army is mainly in the trade routes chasing. Doubt's like, oh, look, I had leftover camels. Doubt will clear up this trade raid. They're making progress pushing Viper. Viper losing all of his Hoofnitsa to a couple Fire Lancers, and that's something else that Jurchens do a good job at. So Jordan's also contributing with more army. I actually would have been really tilted for them if they lost this game. Like, they had no business losing this game. From a competitive standpoint, you know, I think it was a big drop-off from games 1 through 3 to game 4 for Capybara. They were clearly just trying something when they already knew they had the series locked. But that win is still a win, a point that is going to matter over 8 rounds that these teams all have to play. Very good turnaround victory, and maybe victory that should cement their win now. Or, sorry, not cement their win, but, you know, increase their confidence going into the later rounds. And this is Seed 1. Like, Capybara's Vitality, who we're going to see next, those are my top 2 teams. Maybe you could switch who's 1 and who's 2 there. But the actual Seed 1 in the tournament, the stats from the tournament would be Onimaru Capybaras. Towers are coming up now from Jordan everywhere, sneakily. And they're almost in the heart of the trade. They can't break these fortifications through the middle. There's towers and castles just everywhere. And now their military type is just worse, because the Vietnamese elephants have come to party with their 420 HP. Seems over. No desperation attempts less. And you better believe it, that Viper is going to joke that Lewis is the reason they lost, because they won every game that Lewis wasn't playing. I will go to bat for Lewis and say that it was not Lewis's fault. But the facts are, Lewis did come in and they did lose. I think that the coordination between the decisions from Viper and Vinchester was not necessarily there. And Lewis was like, you want your strats to all match the other, right? You do this, which allows me to do that, and then that allows me to do this. It all links. And like having the middle guy go fast castle and then having like the flanks do what they did, it just didn't really click for me. Everything made a lot of sense from Onimaru. But I think, you know, there's an argument to say you can experiment a little bit. Imp Camels engaging over here. Doubt switching to Mamelukes. And game's not over yet. Trade has not been broken yet. Doubt losing his full army. Hold up a second. Are they going to hold on here? The issue is going to be the Ellies, but the thing they didn't have is they didn't have the Halbs in numbers, because Viper's Halbs were in the trade, clearing up from the Camel raid. And 2 very good fights have just taken place here for Onimaru Capybara. You could see a little bit of fear, maybe. I mean, look, they're like full stonewalling the map. Trying to, anyways. So Lewis can't run through again. Capybaras have held. Population's even. Viper has Hoofnitsa. Viper taking down Jordan's cannons. If Viper gets to like 12 Hoofnitsa and 50 Halbs continuously, it's impossible to engage into it. Impossible. Because the elephants are too slow, and then any range units just get hit by the Hoofnitsa. This could get really dangerous for them. They actually need to break the trade fast. They're going to try to. Feels like the Guecha Warriors are still very strong. Next time Lewis makes a play for a castle, I want to see 4 trebs. He's done this 2 treb thing every time. You got to wait for more. The teams are almost completely pop-capped here, guys. So it's like, which military setup is better? Trade setup is obviously worse for Capybara because they can't take the shoreline due to the ships there. I hate this. I hate this with a passion. What do we think's gonna happen, Lewis? We've seen this before. Oh my god, dude. Watching high-level players trickle treb makes me want to bash my head through a wall. I swear. And I've been doing it for 10 plus years. I have said, thou shalt not trickle treb so many times. To be fair to Lewis, maybe he doesn't have the gold. But like, they snipe your trebs and then it just stalls out. At least show up with 4, man. Oh, Doubt's got Mamelukes in the trade. Lewis has to deal with that. There's some trade damage being done here. Viper and Vinchester are starting to make some progress here. Crazy battles. Viper's Hoofnita, hoping to hit the Rattans in the back. Yeah, I think the Rattans were a good addition. I would have liked to seen... I actually don't know who wins between Guecha and Rattan. I think they're pretty close. Trade raid will get cleared up. And Lewis not able to get through. Again, if they get like through the trade, okay, Lewis is going to try it. There's towers back here. Like there's a whole line of towers. The fortification difference is crazy. Is Jordan floating too many resources, T90? You know, I don't know, because his military type is not very strong, so you're going to lose your units a lot faster. I think you just send your excess resources to Andy so Andy can make more elephants. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but yeah, it is a military population issue for this team, maybe. That's where you got to communicate. So typically Jordan would say ask, and like, you know, ask for any res and tell me what you need, and then they'll be sharing it a little bit. You could tell that this team has been doing it back and forth, so that's been good comms there. Like, Viper's Hoofnita are just not dying. Lewis is running in to snipe all the bombard cannons. Or, sorry, not Lewis, Vinchester. All the siege is gone here. And Doubt's camels are going to try and get in. Now, there are some castles in the back. There's this castle. They don't have that many. But how is this still a game? Capybaras have held on. This is going to be the classic, like... Oh, my... Hold up. Jordan. This feels like Regicide Rumble all over again. Jordan has built a crap ton of keeps in the back. That's a huge play, because camels can't go clear that. Goichas can't go clear that. Towers might actually be better than units. That's a huge play. They got to deal with that ASAP. But simultaneous to that, like, you don't want to lose your momentum on your push. So Viper's probably got to get Hoofnita there, but he doesn't want to lose momentum. Oh, and we got camels down here as well. Yeah, wow. Okay, so the trade's getting hit from both angles then. And this should mean that military from Viper, from Vinch, from Lewis is distracted. And now they're going to lose the numbers here. And maybe this can get pushed again. Very well played from Jordan. Also, if you're floating excess res, you just buy stone, which is what Jordan's doing, right? Look, he's even going to make bombard cannons here. If Jordan can use bombard cannons to defend this little push, that'd be so sick. Look at this from Jordan. He's sniping the trebs. That's actually insane. And meanwhile, his team is pushing back here. He's also contributing. And then Doubt is here. Oh, it's a mess. It's a mess in the trade route right now. Trade count is super low compared to what it used to be. And Jordan's still fighting the good fight over here. Vinch thought he could just make a couple trebs real quick and he'd be fine. Nope. See you later, bro. Fight all your trebs. Oh, and by the way, your trade is not running efficiently, so you don't have gold to make more of them. And Viper's going to try, but Viper's distracted here. And now, wow, dude. Wow, this set up everything else. Doubt's raid as well, of course. Doubt had a good raid because Lewis had to go there. Set up everything else. Doubt's also slow pushing here as well. Getting Siege Onager. And the GG is going to be called. Vanguard does get the win. And for Capybaras, maybe a little bit of regret, right? Because, like, the start was really bad. They almost brought it back. But, like, you've got to think, like, could the start be better there? Some things to learn from. Vanguard at least get a win. For Capybara, this would be 4 wins because you get the 3 point... it's 4 points. You get a point for winning the series, and then you get a point for every single win. So they'll still be in a very good spot. And the most important thing about this scoreline, guys, is that I predicted a 3-1 victory for Onimaru Capybaras. So far, 100% of predictions. Very proud of that fact. Yeah, there's the KD. It was rather interesting game in terms of units. It did feel like maybe Bohemians, Muisca, and Hindustanis were a little bit better. I just think the positioning from the other team was so good, and part of that's the fortifications. Guess, guys, how many kills the fortifications had in this game for Team Onimaru Vanguard? I think it's a significant amount. I say that because I didn't see fights that made me think this KD was what it was. I think they've got like 100 kills from fortifications. This might take me a long time. Doubt's castles have 61. Jordan's castles have 15. Andy's castles have 10. So almost 100 from just the castles. TCs? Why are we checking TCs? 2. What about towers? Jordan's towers? 38 kills. Andy's towers? 4 kills. Not as convincing as I thought. Yeah, so they got like 100 kills or something with the fortifications. And then also, what was essentially a fortification was like these Lu Xuans. These guys got like 20 kills. There's random Lu Xuans in the middle that tack on a couple kills. They're just like, they got really good value from their castle setup and from their ships this game. So, fun series. Good set. Reminder, if you're watching on YouTube and you would like to watch the final of this 3v3 event live, you could check out the information on the Garrison. Should be in the YouTube description. Those watching on the stream as well, you could check out the info for the Garrison below the stream if you want to be there in November in Hamburg to see the finals live.